Being welcoming approach. Start with a warm, excited greeting. Create a safe space by emphasizing the reading's focus on understanding true feelings, and build personal connection through shared curiosity. Section flow. Transition smoothly from welcome to overview. Introduce crystal piles with themes, guide selection, and end with a wish moment and encouragement. Word count strategy. Allocate words to each section based on importance. Welcome 30, overview 60, crystals 140, guidance 40. Energy building plan. Build excitement by teasing hidden feelings, unique crystal energies, and potential insights each pile offers. Pile presentation ideas. Highlight each crystal's symbolism and connect it to a specific theme related to revealing someone's true feelings in love. Okay, so for you, pile with the Peridot palm stone, which symbolizes transformation. This reading is all about unveiling hidden potential, right? Discovering how their feelings might evolve into something totally unexpected. And with this crystal here, it's get ready for some major shifts, okay? So right off the bat, we have the Chariot. And oh my God, the Chariot is all about forward motion, right? It's about control and willpower and just barreling towards your goals. So immediately I'm seeing someone who is super driven, super ambitious, and they know exactly what they want. Or okay, maybe they don't exactly know, but they have a really, really good idea, you know? They've got a vision board somewhere, maybe it's in their head, but they are not messing around. This person, they're not passive, they are actively pursuing something. It could be a relationship, it could be a career goal, it could be anything that requires a lot of focus and determination. And the thing about the Chariot is, it's not always easy, right? There are obstacles, there are challenges, but this person is not backing down. They are using their willpower to overcome whatever is in their way. They're like a tank, almost. And I'm getting a real sense of masculine energy here, not necessarily gender, but that kind of assertive, gadgeter vibe. Someone who is not afraid to take charge, to be the leader, to make things happen. They're very self-reliant, you know. They don't wait for things to come to them, they go out and get them. They're probably very independent, maybe even a little stubborn, but in a good way, you know. They know their worth, and they're not going to settle for anything less. Okay, so how does this relate to their feelings for you? Well, it could mean that they are very, very determined to make this relationship work. That they see you as someone worth fighting for, someone worth pursuing. Or it could mean that they are very focused on their own goals right now, and that relationship might be taking a backseat. It really depends on the rest of the cards, but the Chariot definitely suggests a strong sense of purpose and direction. I think that they are very, very intentional about how they spend their time and who they spend it with. So the fact that they're spending time with you probably means that they see something really special in you, something worth investing in. They might not be the most outwardly emotional person, but their actions speak louder than words. Watch what they do, not just what they say. That's a big thing I'm getting from the Chariot, you know? It's they show their feelings through their actions, through their dedication, through their commitment. And also with the Chariot, there's a sense of needing to be in control. So this person might struggle with vulnerability, with letting their guard down. They might be afraid of getting hurt, afraid of losing control. But the fact that they are willing to put themselves out there at all, to pursue this connection with you, says a lot about how they truly feel. Okay? So the Chariot is the initial drive, the ambition, the focus. Now let's see where this goes, because next up we have the Empress, which is whoa, totally different energy, right? The Chariot is all about action, and the Empress is all about receiving, nurturing, abundance, beauty. It's going from that masculine energy to a very, very feminine energy. And again, not necessarily gendered, but the receptive, creative force. So this is really interesting. It's this person who is so driven and focused also has this incredible capacity for love and compassion and creativity. They're not just a machine, you know. They have a heart, a soul, a deep connection to the earth and to the people around them. The Empress is all about, like, fertility and growth, and just that feeling of being nurtured and supported. And it could mean that they see you as someone who embodies those qualities, someone who brings out their softer side, someone who makes them feel safe and loved and cherished. It's like you are their Empress, You are the one who makes them feel abundant and happy and fulfilled. Or it could mean that they are wanting to cultivate those qualities within themselves, to become more nurturing, more compassionate, more connected to their own inner Empress. I'm also getting a sense of, like, home and family here. The Empress is very much connected to those themes. So this person might be thinking about the long term with you, about building a life together, about creating a family. It's like they see you as someone they could really settle down with, someone they could build a future with. This is getting serious, They might also be very drawn to your creativity, your beauty, your ability to create abundance in your own life. They see you as someone who is successful, who is grounded, who is connected to their own inner power. You are like a total goddess in their eyes, seriously. And I think that they really admire that about you. They admire your strength, your independence, your ability to manifest your desires. But, here's the thing. The Empress can also be about, indulgence and, maybe getting a little too comfortable. So this person might also be struggling with, wanting to just relax and enjoy life, but also feeling that pressure to keep moving forward, to keep achieving. It's like they want to be with you, they want to create a beautiful life with you, but they also don't want to lose sight of their own goals and ambitions. So it's about finding that balance, between the Chariot's drive and the Empress's receptivity, between taking action and allowing things to flow. And I think that's a big lesson for them right now, is learning how to balance those two energies, how to be both strong and vulnerable, how to be both ambitious and compassionate. Okay, so we've got the Chariot, we've got the Empress, and now, oh boy, here comes the Ten of Swords. This is like the dramatic plot twist, right? Ten of Swords is not a fun card, let's be real. It's all about endings, betrayal, rock bottom, feeling totally defeated and hopeless. But wait, hold on, remember the crystal, remember the theme unveiling hidden potential. So this isn't necessarily a bad thing, it could be a necessary ending, a painful but ultimately freeing experience. So, what does this mean in terms of their feelings for you? Well, it could mean that they have recently gone through a really difficult breakup, a really painful experience in love. It could mean that they are carrying a lot of baggage from the past, a lot of hurt and resentment. And that's affecting how they feel about you, how they approach this relationship. They might be afraid of getting hurt again, afraid of repeating past mistakes. Or it could mean that they are realizing that something has to end in order for this relationship to move forward. Maybe they have to let go of certain expectations, certain beliefs, certain patterns of behavior that are no longer serving them. Maybe they have to face some uncomfortable truths about themselves or about the relationship. This is, a major wake-up call, And the thing about the Ten of Swords is, it's not just about the ending, it's about the aftermath. It's about picking up the pieces, about healing, about rebuilding. So this person might be feeling very vulnerable and raw right now, but they are also starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. They are starting to realize that this ending, however painful, is actually an opportunity for growth, for transformation, for a fresh start. I think that they are learning a lot about themselves through this experience, about their own strength, their own resilience, their own ability to overcome adversity. They are realizing that they are stronger than they thought they were, and that they are capable of creating a new and better future for themselves. And connecting it back to that Peridot palm stone, this Ten of Swords is like the ultimate transformation, right? It's like shedding the old skin, letting go of what no longer serves, and emerging stronger and wiser. This could be a turning point for them, a moment where they really start to see their own hidden potential. They may even feel like this relationship caused the Ten of Swords. They may feel like you triggered the ending of something. This isn't necessarily bad. It could mean they needed this in their life, and you're the catalyst for it. You're helping them grow, and you may not even know it. So don't be scared off by the Ten of Swords, okay? It's not necessarily a sign that this relationship is doomed. It could be a sign that something needs to shift, something needs to change, in order for it to thrive. It could be a sign that this person is going through a major transformation, and that you are a part of that process. Remember that the feelings might evolve into something unexpected. Keep that in mind. And, it's important to be patient and compassionate with them right now, to offer them support and understanding. Because they are going through a lot, and they need someone who can see them through it, someone who can believe in them even when they don't believe in themselves. And I think that you could be that person for them, You could be the one who helps them to see their own hidden potential, the one who helps them to heal and to grow and to create a beautiful new future together. But let's see what the other cards say, because, wow, this is just the beginning. Okay, so, after that Ten of Swords, which, so heavy we're pulling the Devil, which honestly feels kind of fitting, it's not exactly sunshine and rainbows over here. So the Devil, right? What's the first thing that comes to mind? Temptation, right? Restriction, maybe even addiction. It's all about those things that are holding us back, those chains that we can't seem to break free from. So, in the context of their feelings for you, this could mean a few things, right? First off, maybe they're struggling with some unhealthy attachments. Maybe there's someone from their past that they just can't seem to let go of, even though they know it's not good for them. Or maybe they have a tendency to fall into, toxic relationship patterns, The kind where there's a lot of drama and intensity, but not a lot of genuine connection. And because we've got that Ten of Swords in the mix, it's this could be a recurring theme for them, A pattern that they keep repeating, even though it always ends in heartbreak. It's they're addicted to the pain, almost. Or, okay, another possibility is that they're feeling restricted in some way, they're not able to be their true selves around you. Maybe they're afraid to be vulnerable, afraid to show you their flaws, afraid of what you might think if you really knew them. It's they're wearing a mask, pretending to be someone they're not in order to win your approval. And that can be really exhausting, right? Constantly trying to be someone else. So that Devil energy is that feeling of being trapped, of not being able to break free from those expectations. And connecting it back to the Chariot, which is all about control, maybe they're trying too hard to control the situation, to control their feelings, to control you. They're so afraid of losing control that they're actually pushing you away. It's they're gripping too tightly, And that Devil energy is that need to dominate, to possess, to have power over the situation. Which, isn't exactly a recipe for a healthy relationship, right? But okay, here's where it gets interesting, because we also have the Empress in the mix. And the Empress is all about love and abundance and nurturing, right? So maybe the Devil is showing up to challenge them, to force them to confront their shadow side, to break free from those unhealthy patterns so they can actually be open to that love and abundance that the Empress represents. It's they have this capacity for deep, genuine love, but they're being held back by these, devilish tendencies. So, maybe they're indulging in some not-so-great habits, Maybe they're working too much, or drinking too much, or spending too much time on social media, anything that's distracting them from actually connecting with you on a deeper level. And that Devil energy is that instant gratification, that desire to escape from reality, to avoid dealing with their emotions. It's they're choosing short-term pleasure over long-term happiness, which we all do sometimes, right? But if it becomes a pattern, it can really damage a relationship. But here's the thing, right? The Devil isn't all bad. It's not just about temptation and restriction. It's also about power, about passion, about embracing your desires. It's about recognizing that we all have a shadow side, and that it's okay to acknowledge it, to integrate it into our whole selves. So, maybe this Devil card is actually a sign that they're ready to face their demons, to confront those unhealthy patterns, to break free from those chains. Maybe they're realizing that they've been playing it small, that they've been afraid to go after what they really want. And that Devil energy is that fire, that passion, that desire to break free from those limitations and to live life to the fullest. It's like they're finally ready to embrace their inner rebel, to say no to the things that are holding them back, and to say yes to the things that truly light them up. And connecting it back to that Peridot palm stone, which is all about transformation, maybe the devil is actually a necessary step in their journey. It's like they have to hit rock bottom, they have to confront their shadow side in order to truly transform and to step into their full potential. It's like the universe is pushing them to break free from those chains, to let go of what no longer serves them, and to create a new and better future for themselves. So, this could actually be a really powerful turning point for them. A moment where they finally start to see their own hidden potential, even though it might not feel like it right now. Think about it, the Ten of Swords, right? The absolute end. And the devil right after. It's almost like a phoenix rising from the ashes, right? Like everything had to fall apart so that they can rebuild themselves, stronger and more authentic than ever before. So maybe you triggered that, right? Maybe your presence in their life, the potential of a real relationship with you, is what forced them to face all this stuff that they've been avoiding for so long. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? It's actually a huge compliment in a weird way. It means you're powerful, you're transformative, you're the catalyst for their growth. So, don't be scared off by the devil, okay? It's not necessarily a sign that this relationship is doomed. It could be a sign that they're going through a major transformation and that you're a part of that process. It could be a sign that they're finally ready to face their demons and to create a truly fulfilling life for themselves. But it's also a warning, right? It's a reminder that they need to be mindful of their own tendencies, of their own patterns, and to make sure they're not falling back into those unhealthy habits. They really might be struggling with some kind of addiction, even if it seems small. Maybe it's not drugs or alcohol, but something else, right? Maybe they're addicted to work or to drama or to seeking external validation. Anything that's filling a void inside of them. Anything that's preventing them from truly connecting with themselves and with you. So, it's important for them to be honest with themselves about what's really going on, to acknowledge those unhealthy patterns, and to seek help if they need it. And it's also important for you to set boundaries, to protect yourself from getting caught up in their drama, from enabling their unhealthy habits. You can be supportive, you can be compassionate, but you also need to take care of yourself. You can't save them, you can't fix them, they have to do that for themselves. And if they're not willing to do the work, then you need to be willing to walk away. But okay, let's not jump to conclusions, right? Let's remember that Peridot palm stone, that unveiling hidden potential theme. Let's focus on the positive side of the devil, on the potential for transformation, on the power that comes from facing your shadow self. Because, this could actually be a really amazing opportunity for them to grow, to evolve, and to create a truly authentic and fulfilling life for themselves. Maybe they're realizing that they've been living their life according to someone else's expectations, that they've been trying to please everyone else but themselves. And that devil energy is that desire to break free from those expectations, to live life on their own terms, to be true to themselves, no matter what anyone else thinks. It's like they're finally ready to embrace their individuality, to celebrate their quirks, to own their power. So, how does this all relate to their feelings for you? Well, it could mean that they're really attracted to your strength, to your independence, to your ability to be yourself, unapologetically. They see you as someone who's not afraid to break the rules, to challenge the status quo, to live life on your own terms. And that's really appealing to them, because it's something they secretly desire for themselves. Or it could mean that they're projecting their own shadow side onto you, that they're seeing you as the temptress, the one who's leading them astray, the one who's encouraging them to indulge in their desires. And that's not fair to you, right? It's their responsibility to own their own feelings, to take responsibility for their own actions. But sometimes people project their stuff onto others, especially when they're going through a tough time. But okay, let's stay positive, right? Let's focus on the potential for growth and transformation. Because, This Devil card could actually be a sign that they're ready to take your relationship to the next level, to deepen the connection, to explore new possibilities. Maybe they're ready to be more vulnerable, to share their secrets, to let you see the real them, flaws and all. And that can be really scary, right? But it's also incredibly liberating. They also may be feeling chained down in a relationship where they feel trapped. This could be a past relationship, or they could even be feeling this way about their connection with you. Again, we don't know, and that's okay. We're just laying it all out. It's about finding what works best for you and your connection. They could be feeling chained down by society, family, the expectations of others, and they may see you as a way out. They may see you as their savior, the one who can help release them from their chains and live their life as their true selves. They may put a lot of pressure on you because of this, and you may not even know it. So, keep that in mind as we pull these final cards. It's important to be aware of what you're taking on. So, what does all this mean for the future? Are they going to break free from their chains and step into their full potential? Or are they going to stay stuck in those unhealthy patterns? Are they going to embrace the love and abundance that the Empress represents? Or are they going to succumb to the temptations of the devil? Honestly, it's hard to say for sure. It really depends on them, on their willingness to do the work, on their commitment to growth and transformation. But let's see what the next cards reveal, because this is just getting started. Wow. Okay, so after all that, seriously intense energy, we pull the moon. Okay, so the moon, right away, it's mystery, right? It's illusions, it's secrets, it's the subconscious mind. So this is definitely adding another layer of complexity to everything, you know. We thought we were getting somewhere with the Chariot and the Empress, and then the Ten of Swords and the Devil threw us for a loop, and now the moon is hold on, there's even more you don't know. So, what does this mean in terms of their feelings for you? Well, first of all, it could mean that they're not being totally honest with you, or even with themselves, about how they really feel. There might be some hidden emotions, some unspoken desires, some secret fears that they're keeping buried deep down. And the moon is all about the things that lurk in the shadows, the things that we try to ignore or suppress. So this could be some really deep-seated stuff, childhood traumas, past relationship hurts, insecurities that they've been carrying around for years. And connecting it back to that Ten of Swords, maybe they haven't fully processed that past pain. Maybe they're still dealing with the aftermath of that betrayal or that loss. And the moon is shining a light on those wounds, forcing them to confront those unresolved issues. It could also mean that they're confused about their feelings for you, that they're not really sure what they want or what they're looking for. Maybe they're attracted to you on a superficial level, but they're not really connecting with you on a deeper, more emotional level. Or maybe they're projecting their own fantasies and illusions onto you, seeing you as someone you're not, idealizing you in a way that's not really based in reality. It's like they're seeing a reflection of their own desires in you, rather than seeing you for who you truly are. And that can be really dangerous, because eventually the illusion is going to shatter, and they're going to be disappointed when they realize that you're not the person they thought you were. But okay, it's not all bad, right? The moon can also be about intuition, about tapping into your subconscious mind, about trusting your gut feelings. So maybe this card is a sign that you need to pay attention to your intuition when it comes to this person, that you need to trust your instincts, even if they don't make logical sense. Maybe you're picking up on some subtle cues, some nonverbal signals that are telling you something about their true feelings, even if they're not saying it outright. And the moon is all about the feminine energy, about the receptive, intuitive side of ourselves. So, this could be a sign that you need to connect with your own inner wisdom, that you need to listen to your heart rather than your head when it comes to this relationship. It's like your intuition is trying to guide you, trying to steer you in the right direction, but you need to be open to receiving those messages. And, connecting it back to the Empress, which is also about feminine energy, maybe you need to embody those qualities of love, compassion, and nurturing in order to help them to feel safe and secure enough to open up to you. It's like you need to create a safe space for them to be vulnerable, to share their secrets, to let you see the real them, flaws and all. But okay, here's where it gets really interesting, because we also have the devil in the mix, right? And the devil is all about those chains, those restrictions, those unhealthy attachments. So, like, maybe the moon is revealing that they're actually chained to some illusions, that they're trapped in a cycle of self-deception. Like, maybe they're telling themselves a story about this relationship that's not really true. Maybe they're clinging to a fantasy that's preventing them from seeing reality. And those devilish chains are those beliefs, those patterns, those habits that are keeping them stuck, that are preventing them from breaking free and moving forward. It's like they're addicted to the drama, to the intensity, to the feeling of being controlled, even though it's not good for them. And you know, the moon is all about the subconscious mind, so maybe these illusions are operating on a subconscious level, that they're not even aware that they're deceiving themselves. It's like they've internalized these beliefs, these patterns, so deeply that they've become a part of their identity. And that's why it's so hard for them to break free, because they don't even realize that they're chained. But okay, the moon can also be about facing your fears, about confronting your shadow self, about bringing those hidden emotions to the surface so you can heal and transform them. So maybe this card is a sign that they're ready to confront those illusions, to break free from those chains, to step into their authentic selves. It's like they're realizing that they've been living a lie, that they've been pretending to be someone they're not, and they're finally ready to embrace their true selves, flaws and all. And you know, that can be really scary, because it means facing all those hidden fears, all those unspoken desires, all those secret insecurities. But it's also incredibly liberating, because it means finally being free to be yourself, without having to worry about what anyone else thinks. So, like, how does this all relate to their feelings for you? Well, it could mean that they're afraid to be vulnerable with you, that they're afraid to show you their true selves, because they're afraid of being rejected or judged. It's like they're wearing a mask, pretending to be someone they're not, in order to win your approval. And that can be really exhausting, right? Like, constantly trying to be someone else. Or it could mean that they're projecting their own insecurities onto you, that they're seeing you as a threat to their own sense of self. It's like they're afraid that you're going to see through their facade, that you're going to discover their flaws, and that you're going to abandon them. And that's why they're keeping you at arm's length, why they're not letting you get too close. But okay, it could also mean that they're drawn to your authenticity, that they admire your ability to be yourself, unapologetically. It's like they see you as a beacon of light, as someone who's not afraid to be different, as someone who's not afraid to challenge the status quo. And that's really appealing to them, because it's something they secretly desire for themselves. They may see the illusions they hold and hate you for not reinforcing them. They may be pushing you away because you threaten their sense of self, as mentioned before. Or it could be that they are just genuinely confused. You may remind them of someone from their past, triggering old wounds they thought were healed. They could be falling into a pattern of behavior they're not even aware of, and you're the unfortunate target. Again, this isn't your fault, but it is something to be aware of moving forward. You may need to take a step back and reassess the situation, especially if you're feeling drained or confused yourself. It's important to protect your energy and not get caught up in their illusions. Remember, you can't fix them, you can't save them. They have to do that for themselves. But okay, let's not jump to conclusions, right? Let's remember that Peridot palm stone, that unveiling hidden potential theme. Let's focus on the positive side of the moon, on the potential for intuition, for subconscious understanding, for emotional connection. Because, like, this could actually be a really amazing opportunity for them to grow, to evolve, and to create a truly authentic and fulfilling relationship with you. Maybe they're realizing that they've been living in a dream world, that they've been avoiding reality, and they're finally ready to wake up and face the truth. It's like the moon is shining a light on their illusions, forcing them to see things as they really are, rather than as they want them to be. And that can be really painful, but it's also incredibly liberating because it means finally being able to make conscious choices, to create a life that's aligned with your true values and desires. So, what does all this mean for the future? Are they going to stay trapped in their illusions, or are they going to break free and embrace reality? Are they going to continue to hide their true feelings, or are they going to open up and be vulnerable with you? Honestly, it's hard to say for sure. It really depends on them, on their willingness to be honest with themselves, on their commitment to growth and transformation. But I think the next card will give us some more clues, right? And this reading is all about unveiling hidden potential, about discovering how their feelings might evolve into something unexpected, right? And the moon is definitely adding that element of surprise, that sense of mystery and uncertainty. So, get ready for anything, because this is definitely not a straightforward situation, okay? There's so much going on beneath the surface, so many hidden emotions, so many unspoken desires. The next card will hopefully shine some light on what all this means for you. You've been so patient and open so far, and I really think that's what this person needs. They need someone who is willing to see past their illusions and to love them for who they truly are. But okay, let's see what the next card reveals, because this is just getting started. You may be closer to the truth than you think. Okay, so after all that mystery and illusion with the moon, we pull the Lovers. Whoa, that's a big one, right? I mean, the Lovers, it's all about relationships, of course, but it's also about choices, about values, about, aligning yourself with what truly matters. So, after all that confusion, all that hidden stuff, this card is kind of forcing a decision, So what does this mean for their feelings for you? Well, first and foremost, it means that they're at a crossroads, right? They have a choice to make about this relationship, about whether they want to commit, about whether they see a future with you. And it's not just a casual decision, It's a big, important choice that's going to have a major impact on their life and on yours. And connecting it back to that Chariot card, which is all about direction and willpower, this choice is going to determine which path they take, which direction they head in. It's like they're standing at a fork in the road, and they have to decide which way to go. And the thing about the Lovers is, it's not just about romantic love. It's also about, aligning yourself with your values, with what you truly believe in. So this choice isn't just about whether they like you or not. It's about whether you're a good fit for them on a deeper level, whether you share the same values, whether you're both heading in the same direction. It's about finding someone who supports your dreams, who challenges you to grow, who makes you a better person. It's about finding your soulmate, But okay, here's the thing, right? The Lovers can also be about temptation, about being drawn to something that might not be good for you. So this choice might not be as clear-cut as it seems, There might be some other factors at play, some other temptations that are pulling them in a different direction. And, connecting it back to that Devil card, which is all about those unhealthy attachments, those chains that are holding them back, maybe they're being tempted to stay stuck in those old patterns, to choose the familiar over the unknown. It's like they're being pulled in two different directions, by their heart and by their shadow side. So, what does this all mean for you? Well, it means that you need to be really honest with yourself about what you want, about what you're looking for in a relationship. Are you willing to settle for someone who's not fully committed, someone who's still struggling with their own demons? Or are you looking for someone who's ready to choose you, someone who's ready to build a life with you? It's a big question, right? And it's not always easy to answer. But it's important to be clear about your own boundaries, about what you're willing to accept and what you're not. Don't let them put you in the position of choosing them, if that makes sense. They need to actively choose you. And connecting it back to that Empress card, which is all about abundance and nurturing, you deserve someone who makes you feel loved, supported, and cherished. You deserve someone who sees you as their Empress, someone who's ready to create a beautiful life with you. So don't settle for anything less, okay? You're worth more than that. I really believe that. But okay, let's dig a little deeper into this whole choice thing, right? Because the Lovers isn't just about choosing a partner, it's also about choosing a path, about choosing a way of life. And, connecting it back to that moon card, which is all about illusions and hidden feelings, maybe they're struggling to see the truth about this situation. Maybe they're caught up in their own fantasies, their own projections, their own fears. And that's making it hard for them to make a clear decision. It's like they're wearing blinders, only seeing what they want to see rather than seeing the whole picture. So, what can you do to help them see the truth? Well, first of all, you can be honest with them about how you feel, about what you want, about what you need. Don't be afraid to speak your mind, to express your emotions, to be vulnerable. But also be patient with them, be understanding, be compassionate. They're going through a lot, and they might not be ready to hear what you have to say right away. They might need some time to process their own feelings, to confront their own illusions, to make their own decision. And, connecting it back to that Ten of Swords card, which is all about endings and new beginnings, maybe they need to let go of something from their past in order to move forward with you. Maybe they need to heal some old wounds, to forgive some past hurts, to release some old resentments. It's like they're carrying a lot of baggage, and it's weighing them down, making it hard for them to make a clear choice. But okay, here's where it gets really interesting, because the lovers can also be about, finding harmony and balance in a relationship. It's about creating a partnership where both people feel seen, heard, and valued. It's about supporting each other's dreams, challenging each other to grow, and celebrating each other's successes. It's about finding someone who compliments you, who brings out the best in you, who makes you a better person. And connecting it back to that Peridot palm stone, which is all about transformation, this relationship has the potential to be incredibly transformative for both of you. It has the potential to help you both grow, to evolve, to become the best versions of yourselves. But it's not going to be easy, It's going to require work, it's going to require commitment, it's going to require honesty. So, what are their values? What's important to them in a relationship? Do they value honesty, trust, communication, respect? Or do they value something else, something more superficial, like appearance, status, or money? Are they looking for a deep, meaningful connection, or are they just looking for a good time? It's really essential to figure that out, right? It might be hard to know. And, connecting it back to the Devil card, which is all about those temptations, those unhealthy attachments, maybe they're being tempted to choose something that's not in alignment with their true values. Maybe they're being tempted to choose something that's easy, convenient, or comfortable, even though it's not what they truly want. But okay, let's stay positive, right? Let's focus on the potential for transformation, the potential for growth, the potential for a truly amazing relationship. Because the Lovers is a powerful card, and it's showing that the opportunity is there. It's just a matter of choosing the right path, of aligning with your values, of committing to the journey. So, what does all this mean for the future? Are they going to make the right choice? Are they going to choose you, choose this relationship, choose a path that's aligned with their true values? Or are they going to succumb to temptation, choose something else, and stay stuck in their old patterns? Honestly, it's hard to say for sure. It really depends on them, on their willingness to be honest with themselves, on their commitment to growth and transformation. But I think the next card is going to give us some more clues, right? It's going to help us to see which way they're leaning, which path they're most likely to take. You can feel their heart pulling them, but it's whether they listen, right? This card is showing their heart's desire. The biggest question is whether they're too afraid of those chains. If they choose someone from their past, then the Devil one, right? And this reading is all about unveiling hidden potential, about discovering how their feelings might evolve into something unexpected, right? And the Lovers is definitely adding that element of choice, that sense of possibility, that feeling that anything could happen. It's like the universe is giving them a chance to create something truly amazing, something truly special. And you're a part of that equation. So, get ready for anything, because this is definitely not over, okay? There's still one more card to pull, one more piece of the puzzle to uncover. And I have a feeling it's going to be a big one, a game changer, a moment of truth. And I want to stress, you have the capacity to walk away. If you're not feeling this connection, if you feel they aren't being honest, you can absolutely end things. Take care of yourself. Okay, let's pull that final card because this is just getting started. You are so close to the truth. I can feel it. The universe is guiding you to exactly where you need to be. Okay, so after all that, right, all that drama and all those choices, we pull the world. Oh my God, this is huge. I mean, the world, it's everything, right? It's completion, it's accomplishment, it's feeling totally fulfilled and like you've reached the top of the mountain. It's like you've learned all the lessons, you've integrated all the different parts of yourself, and you're finally ready to, step into your full potential and just shine. So, what does this mean in terms of their feelings for you? Well, on the one hand, it could mean that they see you as their world, Like you're the one who makes them feel complete, who makes them feel whole, who makes them feel like they've finally found what they've been searching for. It's like you're their missing piece, their soulmate, their everything. But okay, here's the thing, right? The world isn't just about finding someone else who completes you, it's also about completing yourself. It's about becoming whole and integrated on your own, so that you can bring your best self to the relationship. And connecting it back to that lover's card, which is all about choices and values, maybe this card is a sign that they're finally ready to make that choice, to choose you, to choose this relationship, to choose a path that's aligned with their true values. But it's like they can only make that choice if they've done the work on themselves, if they've integrated all those different parts of themselves, if they've learned all the lessons they need to learn. And, this is where it gets really interesting, because the world is all about cycles, about endings and beginnings, about the constant flow of life. So maybe they're realizing that they need to let go of something in order to move forward with you, that they need to close one chapter of their life so they can open another. It's like they need to complete something, to finish something, to resolve something, before they can truly commit to this relationship. And that could be anything, It could be letting go of a past relationship. It could be forgiving someone who hurt them. It could be overcoming a fear or an insecurity. But whatever it is, it's something that's been holding them back, something that's been preventing them from fully embracing this relationship. But if they're able to do that, if they're able to complete that cycle, then they're going to be in a much better place to commit to you, to build a life with you, to create a truly amazing partnership. It's like they need to feel complete within themselves before they can truly be complete with you. So, are they ready for that? Are they ready to achieve that sense of completion, that sense of wholeness? Well, that's the million-dollar question, right? And connecting it back to that moon card, which is all about illusions and hidden feelings, maybe they're still struggling with some unresolved issues, some hidden fears, some unspoken desires. Maybe they're still not being totally honest with themselves about what they want, about what they need. And that can make it really hard to achieve that sense of completion, because you can't complete something if you're not even sure what it is you're trying to complete. It's like trying to finish a puzzle when you're missing some of the pieces. You can try, but it's never going to feel quite right. It's never going to feel truly complete. So maybe they need to do some more soul searching, some more inner work, before they can truly commit to this relationship. Maybe they need to confront those hidden fears, those unspoken desires, those unresolved issues, so they can finally see the truth about themselves and about what they want. But okay, here's where it gets really interesting, because the world is also about integration, about bringing all the different parts of yourself together into a cohesive whole. It's about embracing all your strengths and weaknesses, all your light and shadow, all your masculine and feminine energies. And connecting it back to that Empress card, which is all about nurturing and abundance, maybe they're realizing that they need to embrace their feminine side, their softer side, their more nurturing side. Maybe they've been too focused on being strong and independent, and they need to allow themselves to be vulnerable, to be receptive, to be open to receiving love and support. Or, connecting it back to that Chariot card, which is all about willpower and control. Maybe they're realizing that they need to let go of some of that control, that they need to allow themselves to be more flexible, more adaptable, more willing to go with the flow. It's like they've been trying too hard to control everything, and they need to learn to trust the universe, to trust the process, to trust that everything is happening for a reason. And, that can be really hard, especially for someone who's used to being in control. But it's essential if they want to achieve that sense of integration, that sense of wholeness. They need to learn to balance their masculine and feminine energies, their strength and vulnerability, their control and surrender. And that's not always easy, right? It takes time, it takes practice, it takes a willingness to be open to change. But if they're able to do that, if they're able to integrate all those different parts of themselves, then they're going to be in a much better place to create a truly amazing relationship with you. A relationship that's based on equality, on respect, on mutual support. It's like they need to become whole within themselves before they can truly be whole with you. So, are they ready for that? Are they ready to integrate all those different parts of themselves, to embrace all their strengths and weaknesses, to become the best version of themselves? Well, again, that's the million-dollar question, right? And connecting it back to that devil card, which is all about those unhealthy attachments, those chains that are holding them back. Maybe they're still struggling with some of those old patterns, some of those old habits. Maybe they're still clinging to some things that are no longer serving them, some things that are preventing them from fully embracing their potential. And that can make it really hard to integrate all those different parts of themselves, because you can't integrate something if you're still clinging to something else. It's like trying to mix oil and water. It's just not going to work. So maybe they need to let go of those unhealthy attachments, those old patterns, those things that are holding them back, so they can finally be free to embrace their true selves, their full potential, their best life. But that's scary, right? It's scary to let go of the familiar even if it's not good for you. It's scary to step into the unknown, to embrace your potential, to be your true self. But it's also incredibly liberating, incredibly empowering, incredibly rewarding. And connecting it back to that 10 of Swords card, which is all about endings and new beginnings, maybe they've already gone through that process of letting go, of releasing the old, of making space for the new. Maybe they've already experienced that sense of rock bottom, that feeling of being totally defeated, that realization that something has to change. And, if that's the case, then they might be in a really good place to achieve that sense of completion, that sense of integration, that sense of wholeness. They might be ready to step into their full potential, to embrace their true selves, to create a truly amazing relationship with you. But it all comes back to that choice, right? It all comes back to the lovers, to that decision they have to make about which path to take, about which way to go. And the world is like the ultimate destination, the ultimate goal, the ultimate reward. It's like if they choose the right path, if they align themselves with their true values, if they commit to the journey, then they can achieve that sense of completion, that sense of integration, that sense of wholeness, and they can create a truly amazing life with you. But it's not guaranteed, It's not a given. It's something they have to work for, something they have to earn, something they have to choose. But the potential is there. The opportunity is there. And connecting it back to that Peridot palm stone, which is all about transformation, this is all part of their journey, whether they choose the right path or not. Whether they achieve that sense of completion or not, whether they create a truly amazing relationship with you or not, this is all part of their process of growth, of evolution, of becoming the best version of themselves. So, what does all this mean for the future? Honestly, it's hard to say for sure. It really depends on them, on their choices, on their actions. But I think there's reason to be hopeful, reason to believe that they can achieve that sense of completion, that sense of integration, that sense of wholeness, and that they can create a truly amazing relationship with you. The world is a very positive card, after all. And it's showing that the potential is there, the opportunity is there, the possibility is there. So stay open, stay hopeful, stay true to yourself, and see what happens, because this is just the beginning. Okay, so wow, right? What a journey. We started with the Chariot, like all that drive and ambition, someone super focused, super determined, maybe even a little bit stubborn, right? And then we moved into the Empress, which is like totally different energy, all about nurturing, abundance, and that creative feminine power. Then bam. 10 of Swords, like plot twist city, endings and betrayals and all that heavy stuff. But then, like, the Devil, which, okay, not exactly sunshine and rainbows, but also about, like, passion and breaking free from those chains. And then the Moon, which, more mystery, more illusions, all those hidden feelings lurking beneath the surface, right? And the Lovers, like a big freakin' choice. A crossroads, a decision about values and commitment. And then the World. Completion, integration, like reaching the top of the mountain. But now we have the Fool. Like after all that work and all those decisions, we have the Fool, which honestly is kind of perfect, right? It's like the universe is saying, okay, you've learned all the lessons, you've faced all the challenges, now it's time to just like jump. So the Fool, right? What's the first thing that comes to mind? Freedom, right? New beginnings, spontaneity, adventure, like just stepping off the edge and trusting that everything's going to be okay. It's that feeling of, like, anything is possible, that the world is your oyster, and that you can create whatever you want. It's like, after all that intensity, all that heavy stuff, this card is like a breath of fresh air, a reminder to just lighten up, to have fun, to embrace the unknown with childlike wonder. And you know, the Fool is all about taking risks, about stepping outside of your comfort zone, about not being afraid to make mistakes. It's about trusting your intuition, about following your heart, about just going for it, even if you don't know where you're going to end up. It's like the universe is saying, I've got your back, just trust me, just take that leap. It's very, very exciting. So, like, how does this relate to their feelings for you? Well, it could mean that they're ready to just throw caution to the wind and, like, fully commit to this relationship, to take it to the next level, to see where it goes, even if it's a little bit scary. It's like they're done overthinking it, they're done analyzing it, they're just ready to jump in with both feet and see what happens. Or it could mean that they're realizing that they need to let go of some of those expectations, some of those preconceived notions, some of those fears that have been holding them back, and just be open to whatever possibilities the universe throws their way. It's like they're realizing that they can't control everything, that they can't predict the future, and that the best thing they can do is just be present, be open, and be ready for anything. And you know, connecting it back to that Chariot card, which is all about control and willpower, maybe this is a sign that they need to let go of some of that control, to trust that everything is happening for a reason, and to allow themselves to be guided by their intuition, rather than by their head. It's like they've been trying so hard to steer the ship, to control the outcome, that they've been missing out on all the magic and the beauty of the journey. But okay, here's where it gets really interesting, because the Fool is also about innocence, about purity, about seeing the world with fresh eyes. So maybe this card is a sign that they need to let go of some of those past hurts, some of those past resentments, some of those past disappointments, and just see you for who you truly are, without any judgment or preconceived notions. It's like they need to forgive you, forgive themselves, forgive the past, and just start fresh with a clean slate. It's all about forgiveness. And you know, connecting it back to that 10 of Swords card, which is all about endings and new beginnings, maybe this is a sign that they've finally healed from those past wounds, that they've finally learned the lessons they needed to learn, and that they're ready to move on to a new chapter of their life, a chapter that's full of love, joy, and possibility. It's like they've closed that door, they've turned the page, and they're ready to start a brand new story. But okay, here's the thing, right? The Fool is also about potential, about unlimited possibilities, about the journey itself, rather than the destination. So this card isn't necessarily saying that this relationship is going to be perfect, that it's going to be easy, or that it's going to last forever. It's just saying that it has the potential to be something amazing, something transformative, something that helps you both grow and evolve and become the best versions of yourselves. And you know, connecting it back to that Empress card, which is all about nurturing and abundance, maybe this relationship has the potential to bring you both a lot of love, joy, and fulfillment, to create a life that's full of abundance, beauty, and creativity. But it's not a guarantee, you know? It's something you have to work for, something you have to create, something you have to choose. So, what does all this mean for the future? Are they going to take that leap of faith? Are they going to embrace the unknown? Are they going to commit to this relationship and see where it goes? Or are they going to stay stuck in their old patterns, their old fears, their old limitations? Honestly, it's hard to say for sure. It really depends on them, on their choices, on their actions. But I think there's reason to be hopeful, reason to believe that they can do it, that they can overcome their challenges, that they can create a truly amazing relationship with you. The Fool is a very powerful card, after all. And it's showing that the potential is there, the opportunity is there, the possibility is there. So, what should you do? Well, first of all, trust your intuition, trust your gut feelings. If something feels off, if something doesn't feel right, then don't ignore it. Listen to your inner voice, it's usually right. And connecting it back to that moon card, which is all about illusions and hidden feelings, maybe there's something you're not seeing, something they're not telling you, something that's lurking beneath the surface. So pay attention to the subtle cues, the nonverbal signals, the things that are being left unsaid. But also be open and honest with them about how you feel, about what you want, about what you need. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable, to share your fears, to express your desires. Communication is key, especially in a relationship that's as complex and as intense as this one. And connecting it back to that Lover's card, which is all about choices and values, make sure you're both on the same page, that you're both aligned with your true values, and that you're both committed to creating a relationship that's based on honesty, trust, and respect. And finally, remember that Peridot palm stone, which is all about transformation. This whole situation, this whole relationship, this whole journey is an opportunity for growth, for evolution, for becoming the best version of yourself. So embrace the challenges, learn from the mistakes, and never stop believing in your own potential. And connecting it back to that Devil card, which is all about breaking free from those chains, maybe this is a chance for you both to let go of some of those old patterns, those old habits, those things that are holding you back, and to step into your power, to embrace your true selves, to create a life that's aligned with your highest potential. So, go for it. Take that leap of faith, embrace the unknown, trust the universe, and see what happens. Because this could be the beginning of something truly amazing, something truly transformative, something that changes your life forever. But even if it's not, even if it doesn't work out the way you hope, even if it ends in heartbreak, you'll still be okay. You'll still have learned something, you'll still have grown, you'll still have become a stronger, wiser, more resilient person. And that's what it's all about, right? It's not about finding the perfect relationship, it's about becoming the best version of yourself. And the Fool is a reminder that life is a journey, not a destination. It's about the experiences you have along the way, the lessons you learn, the people you meet, the memories you make. It's about embracing the adventure, about being open to possibilities, about trusting that everything is happening for a reason. So, go out there and live your life to the fullest. Be bold, be brave, be yourself. And never stop believing in the power of love, the power of hope, and the power of the human spirit. You got this. You really, really do. And honestly, I'm so excited for you. This is such a cool reading, and I feel like it's really tapping into something deep and meaningful for you. So yeah, just trust yourself, trust the process, and see what happens. Because anything is possible, The universe is full of surprises, and you never know what amazing things are waiting for you just around the corner. And always remember that Peridot palm stone, that reminder of the transformative power that you hold within yourself. So amazing. Hey there, Smoky quartz butterflies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This balancing crystal is all about helping you navigate some pretty deep emotional waters that these cards are definitely reflecting. I'm so excited to see what's in store for you. So let's dive right in, okay? First up, we have the Star, and oh my gosh, this card is just shimmering with hope. It's like, after a long period of darkness, you're finally seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. But it's not just any light. It's like a beacon, a guiding star that's leading you towards your truest desires. And because this reading is all about navigating emotional depths, what I'm really feeling here is that this hope is specifically related to your feelings. Like maybe you've been feeling lost or uncertain about, where your heart is leading you, but the Star is saying, hold on, baby. Clarity is coming. It's like you've been through it, right? Like you've been through some stuff, and you've maybe even felt like giving up on love or on happiness or whatever it is you're seeking. But the Star is here to remind you that, you deserve all the good things. You deserve to feel hopeful, you deserve to feel optimistic, and you deserve to believe that things are going to get better. And honestly, I think that's so powerful, especially given the balancing energy of your Smoky quartz. Now, this could manifest in a couple of different ways. Like maybe you're currently in a relationship that's been going through a rough patch, and the Star is signaling a renewed sense of optimism and faith in your connection. Like, maybe you and your partner have been working through some challenges, and you're finally starting to see the fruits of your labor. Or maybe you're single and you've been feeling discouraged about finding love, but the Star is saying, don't give up. Your person is out there, and the universe is conspiring to bring you together. Or, I even feel like for some of you this could be about a creative project, something you are putting your heart and soul into. I feel like the Star is really a light inside of you that you get to share. But here's the thing. The Star isn't just about wishful thinking, okay? It's not about, sitting around and waiting for good things to happen. It's about actively participating in your own healing and growth. It's about taking steps to align yourself with your desires and to create the life that you truly want. It's about having faith in yourself and in the universe, even when things get tough. It's about believing that you are worthy of love, happiness, and abundance, and then acting accordingly. Because you really are. And that leads us beautifully into our next card, which is the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, I love this queen. She is like the epitome of grounded, nurturing energy. She's all about creating stability and security in your life, both materially and emotionally. So, after the ethereal hope of the Star, the Queen of Pentacles is bringing us down to earth, reminding us that, real, lasting happiness is built on a solid foundation. And because we are talking about reconciling feelings here, I feel like this queen is about getting really honest with yourself and getting really practical. So, what does that look like? Well, maybe it means taking a hard look at your finances and creating a budget that allows you to feel more secure. Or maybe it means decluttering your home and creating a space that feels more comfortable and inviting. Or maybe it means setting healthy boundaries in your relationships and learning to say no to things that drain your energy. Whatever it is, the Queen of Pentacles is urging you to take concrete steps to create a life that feels safe, stable, and supportive. But it's not just about the material stuff, The Queen of Pentacles is also deeply connected to our emotional well-being. She's about nurturing ourselves, taking care of our bodies, and creating healthy habits that support our mental and emotional health. So maybe that means starting a daily meditation practice, or going for a walk in nature, or spending time with loved ones who make you feel good. Or maybe it means finally addressing those unresolved emotional issues that have been weighing you down for so long, the ones that you are reconciling. Whatever it is, the Queen of Pentacles is reminding you that, you deserve to feel good, and you have the power to create that feeling in your life. And you know what I'm also feeling? This queen also represents someone in your life who embodies these qualities. Maybe it's a mother figure, a close friend, or even a romantic partner who provides you with a sense of stability, security, and unconditional love. This person is, your rock, the one you can always count on to be there for you, no matter what. And I feel like they are helping you see your own worth and helping you build that solid foundation for yourself. So if you have someone like that in your life, make sure you appreciate them, okay? Because they are a true gift. Okay, now are you ready for the cherry on top? Because, oh my gosh, it's the Ten of Cups. This card is like pure, unadulterated joy and emotional fulfillment. It's the happy ending we've all been waiting for. So after the hope of the star and the grounded energy of the Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups is here to say, yes, it's all possible. You can have it all. And because we're talking about true feelings here, this card is telling me that, like, deep down, you are capable of experiencing profound joy and connection in your life, particularly in the realm of relationships. And this is what they are feeling, like this is truly what their heart wants. This card is all about harmonious relationships, deep connections, and a sense of belonging. It's about feeling loved, supported, and accepted for who you are. It's about creating a family, whether it's a traditional family or a chosen family, where everyone feels valued and appreciated. It's about sharing your life with people who lift you up, inspire you, and make you laugh. It's about creating a home filled with love, laughter, and happy memories. So, what does that look like for you? Well, maybe it means finally finding that soulmate connection you've been searching for, someone who truly gets you and loves you unconditionally. Or maybe it means strengthening the bonds with your existing family and friends, creating deeper and more meaningful connections. Or maybe it means creating a community where you feel like you belong, where you can share your gifts and talents with others and feel supported in your own growth. You know, the type of community that feels like a family. Like whatever it is, the Ten of Cups is saying that, like, you deserve to feel this level of joy and connection in your life, and it's within your reach. And the fact that we have all three of these cards together, like the Star, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Ten of Cups, is just so incredibly powerful. It's like the universe is conspiring to bring you everything you've ever wanted, but it's also reminding you that, like, you have to do your part. You have to believe in yourself, you have to take action to create the life you want, and you have to be open to receiving all the good things that are coming your way. So what I'm really feeling here is that this person, the person whose feelings we are exploring, they are going through a journey. They are starting with this hope, with this vision of what could be, but they are also feeling the need to ground that vision, to make it real, to build a solid foundation for it. And ultimately, they are longing for that Ten of Cups feeling, that sense of complete emotional fulfillment and happiness. And that Smoky Quartz is all about balancing that journey, about helping them reconcile those feelings, about helping them navigate those emotional depths. I think, for some of you, this could be about someone who has been hurt in the past, someone who has closed off their heart and is afraid to love again. But the Star is reminding them that, like, it's okay to hope, it's okay to dream, and it's okay to open their heart again. The Queen of Pentacles is encouraging them to take things slow, to be patient with themselves, and to build a solid foundation of self-love and self-worth. And the Ten of Cups is showing them that, like, the possibility of true love and happiness is still very much alive. Or, for others of you, this could be about someone who is already in a relationship, but they are feeling disconnected or unfulfilled. The Star is offering them a renewed sense of hope and optimism, reminding them that, like, things can get better. The Queen of Pentacles is encouraging them to focus on the practical aspects of their relationship, to communicate openly and honestly with their partner, and to work together to create a more stable and secure foundation. And the Ten of Cups is showing them that, like, the potential for deep, lasting love and happiness is still there, waiting to be rekindled. And you know what? I'm even feeling like for some of you this is about forgiving yourself. It's about reconciling your own feelings and letting go of the past so you can have this future. So, yeah, overall, this is a super positive reading, you guys. It's all about hope, healing, and happiness. It's about believing in yourself, taking action to create the life you want, and being open to receiving all the good things that are coming your way. I'm so excited for you. Now, let's see what else the cards have to say, because honey, we are just getting started. Okay, so, wow, that was like a lot of happy, joyful energy, right? The Star, the Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups. It's like, bam, here's your dream life, but life isn't always sunshine and rainbows, is it? And that's where this next card comes in. So get ready because, oh wow, here it is. The Hanged Man. Deep breath, okay? So, this is a pretty significant shift in energy, right? I mean, we went from, pure bliss to someone hanging upside down. It is what it is. But don't freak out, okay? Don't freak out. This isn't necessarily a bad card, it's just different. It's asking us to look at things from a different angle, to pause, to surrender. And honestly, I think that makes total sense given the balancing energy of your smoky quartz. It's like, we can't have all that joy without also acknowledging the need for introspection, and maybe even a little bit of sacrifice. So, the Hanged Man. What does this mean in the context of their true feelings? What does it mean after the Star, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Ten of Cups? Well, the first thing that comes to mind is that this person, the person whose feelings we're exploring, might be feeling stuck, in some way. Maybe they have this vision of the perfect relationship, this Ten of Cups dream, but they're realizing that, it's not quite within reach yet. Or maybe they're feeling like they need to make a sacrifice in order to achieve that dream. Let's say they're in a relationship, right? And things are pretty good, they have that Queen of Pentacles stability. But maybe they're realizing that something's missing, or that they need to change something about themselves in order to truly connect with their partner on that Ten of Cups level. And that change, that sacrifice, might feel uncomfortable. It might feel like they're hanging upside down for a while. But the Hanged Man is saying that it's necessary, that it's part of the process. Or maybe they're single, and they're longing for that Ten of Cups family, that sense of belonging. But maybe they're realizing that they need to let go of some old beliefs or patterns that are holding them back. Maybe they need to forgive someone from their past, or maybe they need to forgive themselves, like we were talking about before. And that letting go, that surrender, might feel like they're hanging in limbo for a while, unsure of what the future holds. But here's the thing. The Hanged Man isn't about being stuck forever, okay? It's about using this time of suspension to gain a new perspective, to see things in a new light. It's about surrendering to the present moment and trusting that the universe has a plan for you, even if you can't see it right now. It's like maybe they need to take a step back from the situation and really evaluate what they truly want and need. This could be a time for major soul searching. And because this reading is about navigating emotional depths, I feel like the Hanged Man is specifically asking them to examine their emotional attachments. Are they holding onto any feelings or beliefs that are no longer serving them? Are they clinging to a past relationship or a past version of themselves that's preventing them from moving forward? Are they afraid to let go of control and trust that things will work out for the best? The Hanged Man is urging them to release those attachments, to surrender to the flow of life, and to trust that they will eventually find their way. It's like, sometimes we have to let go of what we think we want in order to receive what we truly need. And honestly, that's a really tough thing to do, right? It's scary to let go of control, to step into the unknown. But the Hanged Man is saying that it's worth it, that the rewards on the other side are greater than we can imagine. Now, another way this card could be showing up is that this person might be making a conscious sacrifice for the sake of someone else. Maybe they're putting their own needs on hold in order to support a loved one or to help someone in need. Maybe they're sacrificing their time, their energy, or even their own happiness for the sake of the greater good. And honestly, that's a really admirable thing to do. But the Hanged Man is also a reminder that we can't pour from an empty cup, right? We can't sacrifice ourselves completely without taking care of our own needs first. So, if this person is making a sacrifice for someone else, it's important that they also make sure to prioritize their own well-being. They need to make sure they're getting enough rest, eating healthy foods, and spending time with people who lift them up. They need to make sure they're not burning themselves out or becoming resentful of the person they're sacrificing for. It's like they need to find a balance between giving and receiving, between taking care of others and taking care of themselves. And that's where the Smoky Quartz comes in again, right? It's all about balance. It's all about finding that middle ground. The Smoky Quartz can help them to stay grounded and centered, even when they're feeling pulled in different directions. It can help them to release any negative energy or emotions that might be clouding their judgment. And it can help them to trust their intuition and make decisions that are in their best interest, as well as the best interest of others. And you know what? I'm also feeling like this card could be about a change in perspective, like a literal shift in how they see things. Maybe they've been so focused on one particular outcome or one particular way of doing things that they haven't been able to see other possibilities. The Hanged Man is inviting them to turn things upside down, to look at the situation from a different angle, and to see what new insights might emerge. Like maybe they've been trying so hard to control the situation, to force things to happen in a certain way, that they haven't been able to see that there's a better way, a more effortless way. The Hanged Man is reminding them that sometimes the best thing we can do is to surrender to the flow of life and trust that things will unfold in their own time. And it is not about the immediate gratification that they were hoping for with those initial cards. Or maybe they've been so caught up in their own thoughts and feelings that they haven't been able to see things from someone else's perspective. The Hanged Man is inviting them to step into someone else's shoes, to try to understand their point of view, and to see the situation from their eyes. And this is, so important in relationships, right? It's so easy to get caught up in our own needs and desires that we forget to consider the needs and desires of our partner. The Hanged Man is a reminder that empathy and understanding are essential for creating a harmonious and fulfilling relationship. So, yeah, the Hanged Man. It's a card of suspension, sacrifice, and surrender. But it's also a card of new perspectives, of letting go, and of trusting the universe. And honestly, I think it's a really powerful card, especially in the context of reconciling feelings. It's like, sometimes we have to go through a period of discomfort and uncertainty in order to truly understand what we want and need. We have to be willing to let go of old beliefs and patterns that are no longer serving us. And we have to be willing to trust that the universe has a plan for us, even if we can't see it right now. This is all about faith. And remember that smoky quartz butterfly. It's a beautiful symbol of transformation, of balancing the dark and the light, and of trusting the journey. So, even though this Hanged Man energy might feel a little bit unsettling, I want you to remember that it's all part of the process. It's all part of their journey towards greater emotional fulfillment and happiness. So, what's next? I am so curious to see how this all unfolds. Okay, so where does that leave us, right? I am so ready for this. Let's see. And the next card is, oh my goodness, it is the Two of Cups. Oh wow, okay, well hello there, connection. So after all that Hanged Man energy, all that introspection and sacrifice, we get the Two of Cups. This is interesting, this is very interesting, okay. So the Two of Cups in its simplest form is all about partnership, right? It's about connection, it's about harmony, it's about finding someone who just gets you. But, after the Hanged Man, this isn't just any old connection. This is a connection that's been forged in the fires of sacrifice and surrender, you know. This is a connection that's been turned upside down and shaken around a little bit. So what does that mean? Well, first of all, I think it means that this person, the person whose feelings we're exploring, they are ready for connection, deep down, they are craving it. But they're also maybe a little bit hesitant, a little bit guarded because of that Hanged Man energy, right? They've been through it, they've had to make sacrifices, they've had to let go of things, and now they're okay, universe, are you sure about this? Are you sure I'm ready for this? You know. It's like they're peeking out from behind the curtain, a little scared, but also really, really curious. And see, the Two of Cups is directly related to that Ten of Cups dream, right? It's like the Ten of Cups is the ultimate happy ending, the perfect family, the perfect relationship. But the Two of Cups is the first step towards that dream. It's the initial spark, the initial connection that can eventually lead to that Ten of Cups fulfillment. But it requires work, it requires effort, it requires vulnerability. And after the Hanged Man, this person might be feeling a little bit raw, a little bit exposed. They might be wondering if they have the strength to be that vulnerable again. But. The Queen of Pentacles is still there too, right? That grounded, stable energy. So even though they might be feeling a little bit hesitant, they're also, like, really practical about this. They're not just going to jump into any old relationship. They're going to be discerning. They're going to be careful. They're going to make sure that this connection is built on a solid foundation of trust, respect, and mutual understanding. They're not going to repeat past mistakes. They're going to learn from them. They want that stable love, that Queen of Pentacles foundation. And you know what? I'm also feeling like this Two of Cups could be about reconciling feelings, like, within themselves. Remember that self-love we talked about earlier? It's like, maybe they've been so focused on finding a connection with someone else that they've forgotten to connect with themselves. Maybe they've been so busy sacrificing their own needs for the sake of others that they've lost touch with their own desires. The Two of Cups is reminding them that, like, the most important relationship they have is the relationship with themselves, and that they need to nurture that relationship, to treat themselves with kindness and compassion, and to honor their own needs and desires. They need to fill their own cup first, before they can fill someone else's. They need to choose themselves. So what does this connection look like? Well, it could manifest in a few different ways. Like, for some of you, this could be about a brand new relationship, a brand new person coming into their life. Someone who just, like, totally gets them. Someone who sees them for who they truly are, flaws and all, and loves them anyway. Someone who challenges them to grow. Someone who inspires them to be their best selves. Someone who feels like home, you know. Or for others of you, this could be about deepening an existing relationship. Maybe they're already in a relationship, but things have been feeling a little bit stale, a little bit disconnected. The Two of Cups is saying that, like, it's time to rekindle that spark, to reconnect on a deeper level, to rediscover the magic that brought them together in the first place. It's time to have those difficult conversations, to be honest and vulnerable with each other, and to work together to create a stronger, more fulfilling connection. Or, you know what? For some of you, this could be about mending a broken relationship. Maybe they've had a falling out with a friend, or a family member, or even a former lover. The Two of Cups is saying that, like, it's not too late to heal that rift, to forgive each other, and to move forward. It's going to take effort, it's going to take vulnerability, but it's possible. And you know, sometimes the most rewarding relationships are the ones that we've had to work the hardest for, because we understand the value and what it means to make amends. But here's the thing, though, I feel like there's still some hesitation here, right? I mean, we just had the Hanged Man, so it's not like they're just going to jump into this with both feet. I think they're still a little bit scared of getting hurt again. They're still a little bit worried about making the wrong decision. They're still a little bit unsure of themselves. And that's okay. It's okay to be hesitant, it's okay to be cautious. It just means that they're being smart, that they're being responsible. But the Two of Cups is also a reminder that, like, love is worth the risk. That connection is worth the risk. That vulnerability is worth the risk. Because without those things, we can't truly experience joy. We can't truly experience fulfillment. And you know what? I think they know that deep down. I think they're just waiting for the right moment, the right person, the right opportunity to present itself. And you know, that smoky quartz butterfly is still there, too, right? It's still helping them to balance those feelings, to navigate those emotional depths. The smoky quartz can help them to release any fear or anxiety that might be holding them back. It can help them to trust their intuition and make decisions that are aligned with their highest good. And it can help them to stay grounded and centered, even when they're feeling a little bit overwhelmed. It's there to protect them. So, yeah, the Two of Cups. It's a card of connection, of partnership, of harmony, but it's also a card of vulnerability, of risk, and of trust. And I think, in the context of this reading, it's a really powerful card, because it's showing us that this person is ready for love, but they're also aware of the challenges that come with it. They're willing to put in the work, they're willing to be vulnerable, but they're also going to be smart about it. And I am so here for it. Okay, so like, what does this all mean? What's the final piece of the puzzle? I am seriously dying to know. What's the last card going to be? Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Okay, here we go. Let's see what else the cards have to say. Okay, so the Two of Cups. That's a big deal, right? It's like after all that, hanging upside down and questioning everything, there's this possibility of connection. But it's not just a simple, easy connection, is it? It's one that's been worked for, one that's maybe a little bit scary because it requires vulnerability. It's almost like they're standing at the edge of something new, wanting to jump in, but also checking to make sure the water's not too cold, They're like, okay, I want this, but is it safe? Am I ready? So where does that leave us? Where does that leave them? Well, let's see, because oh my gosh, here it is. The sun. Okay, well, hello, sunshine. I mean, seriously, after all that emotional depth, and the Hanged Man's pause, the sun is like bam. Joy, happiness, abundance. It's like the universe is saying, okay, you've done the work, you've faced your fears, now here's the reward. But, we can't just ignore everything that came before, right? We can't just pretend like they haven't been through it, like they haven't had to, really look at themselves and their feelings. So this isn't just a superficial happiness, it's a deeper, more meaningful joy, one that's been earned, This isn't just given here, I feel like this has been truly earned through the process. So what does this mean in the context of their true feelings? What does it mean after the Star, the Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, the Hanged Man, and the Two of Cups? Well, the first thing that comes to mind is that they're finally breaking free from that feeling of being stuck. That Hanged Man energy, that feeling of being suspended in time, it's lifting. It's like the sun is coming out after a long, dark night, and they can finally see clearly again. And it also is possible that the Sun card can have more meaning with all the cards laid out, especially in a love reading. I think maybe they had a revelation about themselves. It's like they've had this, breakthrough, this moment of clarity where they finally understand something about themselves or their situation that they didn't understand before. Maybe they've realized that they've been holding themselves back, or that they've been clinging to a belief or a pattern that's no longer serving them. And now they're finally ready to let go of that and move forward with confidence and joy. Maybe this is them coming into their own. This is super exciting. Maybe this is a huge moment. They have realized something about themselves that is just a game changer. And because this reading is all about navigating emotional depths, I feel like the sun is specifically highlighting their emotional well-being. It's like they're finally feeling good about themselves. They're finally feeling confident in their own skin, and they're finally feeling worthy of love and happiness. They've gone through this darkness, this hanged man period, and now they're emerging into the light, stronger and more resilient than ever before. It's like they've shed their old skin and they're stepping into a new version of themselves, one that's more authentic, more empowered, and more joyful. But there is some more work to be done, I can tell. But remember that smoky quartz butterfly, right? It's not just about, blindly embracing the sunshine and ignoring the shadows. It's about balancing the light and the dark, about acknowledging the challenges and the struggles while still maintaining a sense of hope and optimism. It's about being realistic, but also believing in the possibility of good things to come. It's so important to balance these energies. That smoky quartz is there to make sure that this joy isn't naive, that it's grounded in reality, and that it's sustainable. It's like saying, okay, enjoy the sunshine, but don't forget to wear sunscreen. It is about not getting burned. I also think that their own strength and perseverance is being acknowledged here, too. And you know what? I'm also feeling like the sun is about self-acceptance. It's like they're finally learning to love themselves, flaws and all. They're realizing that they don't have to be perfect in order to be worthy of love, that they don't have to change themselves in order to be accepted. They're embracing their imperfections, their quirks, their vulnerabilities, and they're realizing that those are the things that make them unique and special. It's like they're finally seeing themselves in a new light, a more compassionate and loving light. And that self-acceptance is radiating outward, influencing their relationships and their interactions with others. They're no longer afraid to be themselves, they're no longer afraid to be vulnerable, and they're no longer afraid to express their true feelings. They're letting go of the masks they've been wearing, the walls they've been building, and they're allowing themselves to be seen for who they truly are. And that's creating a deeper sense of connection and intimacy in their relationships. People are drawn to their authenticity, to their honesty, and to their vulnerability. They are finally seeing that people love them for who they are. Now, I feel like they are more confident in their own skin. And you know what else I'm feeling? This card is also about forgiveness. Maybe they're forgiving themselves for past mistakes, for past hurts, for past regrets. Maybe they're realizing that they can't change the past, but they can learn from it, and they can move forward with a clean slate. Or maybe they're forgiving someone else who has hurt them, someone who has wronged them in some way. Maybe they're realizing that holding onto anger and resentment is only hurting themselves, and that forgiveness is the key to releasing that pain and moving on. Forgiveness is also freeing. They can release themselves from those bonds. I think that will be very important to them. It's like they're realizing that forgiveness isn't about condoning the other person's behavior. It's about releasing themselves from the burden of carrying that pain. It's about choosing to let go of the past and create a more positive future. And you know, forgiveness can be really hard, especially when the hurt is deep. But the sun is a reminder that it's possible, that it's worth it, and that it can lead to a greater sense of peace and joy. It's like they're finally realizing that they deserve to be happy and that they have the power to create that happiness in their lives. So overall, the sun is a really powerful card in this reading. It's a card of joy, of happiness, of abundance, of self-acceptance, and of forgiveness. It's a card that's saying, okay, you've done the work, now it's time to celebrate. It's time to embrace the good things in your life, and it's time to shine your light for the world to see. It's a reminder that even after the darkest of nights, the sun will always rise again. Now, with the addition of the Smoky Quartz, they are being protected from too much light and maintaining balance. So where does that leave them? Where does that leave us? Well, they've gone from a place of hope and optimism to a place of introspection and sacrifice, to a place of connection and vulnerability, and now to a place of joy and self-acceptance. They've come a long way, and they've learned a lot about themselves and their feelings. But the journey isn't over yet, is it? There's still one more card to pull, one more piece of the puzzle to uncover. I am so excited to see what that final card is going to reveal. What's the final message? What's the final piece of advice? Oh my gosh, I can't wait to find out. Okay. So, like, the sun is amazing, right? I mean, who doesn't want that kind of joy and happiness? But, life isn't always sunshine and rainbows, is it? And that's where this next card comes in. So get ready because, oh wow, here it is. The Nine of Swords, deep breath, oh man. Okay, so, like, this is a pretty big contrast to the sun, right? I mean, we went from, like, pure joy to, well, to someone, like, clearly having a really, really bad night. It is what it is. But don't freak out, okay? Don't freak out. This isn't necessarily a bad card, it's just intense. It's asking us to look at the things that are keeping us up at night, to confront our fears and anxieties. And honestly, I think that makes total sense, given everything else we've seen. So, the Nine of Swords. What does this mean in the context of their true feelings? What does it mean after the Star, the Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, the Hanged Man, the Two of Cups, and the Sun? Oh, goodness. Well, the first thing that comes to mind is that this person, the person whose feelings we're exploring, might be struggling with some serious anxiety, like some real intense worries. Like, maybe they're having nightmares, maybe they're having panic attacks, maybe they're just feeling overwhelmed by negative thoughts. And you know, it makes sense, right? I mean, they've been through so much. They've had that hope and that dream with the Star and the Ten of Cups, but they've also had to face some hard truths with the Hanged Man. They've opened themselves up to connection with the Two of Cups, but that also means opening themselves up to the possibility of getting hurt. They've finally found some joy and self-acceptance with the Sun, but that doesn't mean that all their problems have magically disappeared. So, like, what are they worried about? Well, it could be a lot of things. Maybe they're worried about messing up this new relationship, about not being good enough for their partner. Maybe they're worried about losing everything they've worked so hard for, about falling back into old patterns of self-doubt and negativity. Maybe they're worried about the future, about what's going to happen next, about whether they can really sustain this happiness that they've found. It could be literally anything. And you know, the Nine of Swords is a card of mental anguish, of being trapped in your own head. It's like your thoughts are running wild, and you can't seem to turn them off. You're replaying past mistakes, you're imagining worst-case scenarios, and you're just feeling completely overwhelmed. I think that's something a lot of people feel in their heart, but can't always express. But here's the thing. The Nine of Swords isn't about being trapped forever, okay? It's about acknowledging your fears and anxieties, and then finding ways to cope with them. It's about realizing that your thoughts aren't always reality, and that you have the power to change them. It's about seeking help and support when you need it, and about being kind and compassionate to yourself, even when you're struggling. That's the most important thing. And because this reading is about navigating emotional depths, I feel like the Nine of Swords is specifically asking them to examine the root of their anxieties. Like, what are they really afraid of? Where do these fears come from? Are they based on past experiences, or are they just imagined? Are they realistic, or are they exaggerated? It's like the card is inviting them to dig deep, to uncover the underlying causes of their worries, so that they can start to heal them. Like, maybe they need to talk to a therapist, or a counselor, or a trusted friend. Maybe they need to start practicing mindfulness or meditation, to learn how to quiet their minds and calm their thoughts. Maybe they need to start setting boundaries, to protect themselves from people or situations that trigger their anxiety. Maybe they need to start challenging their negative thoughts, to replace them with more positive and realistic ones. It all depends. And you know what? I'm also feeling like this Nine of Swords could be about the fear of losing that Ten of Cups dream. Like, they've finally found that sense of connection and belonging, that feeling of being loved and supported, and they're terrified of losing it. They're afraid that something's going to come along and ruin it all, that the rug's going to be pulled out from under them. And honestly, that's a pretty common fear, right? I mean, when we finally find something that makes us truly happy, we're naturally afraid of losing it. But the Nine of Swords is a reminder that fear can be a self-fulfilling prophecy. If we're constantly worrying about losing something, we're more likely to create the very situation that we're trying to avoid. So it's important to trust that the universe has their back, that they're strong enough to handle whatever comes their way, and that even if things do fall apart, they'll be able to pick themselves up and start again. Have faith in yourself. And you know that Smoky Quartz butterfly is still there, too, right? It's still helping them to balance those feelings, to navigate those emotional depths. The Smoky Quartz can help them to ground their energy, to release any negative emotions that might be fueling their anxiety, and to stay present in the moment, instead of getting caught up in future worries. This will help make sure you don't get stuck in your head. It's like the Smoky Quartz is saying, okay, I know you're scared, I know you're worried, but you're not alone. I'm here to help you stay calm, to help you stay grounded, and to help you remember that you're stronger than you think. So, yeah, the Nine of Swords. It's a card of anxiety, of worry, of negative thoughts, but it's also a card of awareness, of healing, and of resilience. And I think, in the context of this reading, it's a really important card, because it's reminding us that even after we've found joy and happiness, we still have to deal with our fears and anxieties. It's part of being human, and it's something that we can't ignore. But we also don't have to let it control us. We can learn to manage it, to cope with it, and to move forward with strength and courage. And I think that's what this person is ultimately going to do. I think they're going to face their fears, they're going to seek help and support when they need it, and they're going to continue to move forward on their journey towards greater emotional fulfillment. It's not the end of the story, it's just another chapter. But here's the thing, though, I feel like there's still some hope here, right? I mean, we just had the sun, so it's not like they're just going to succumb to their anxieties. I think they're going to use that joy and self-acceptance as a foundation to build upon, to help them cope with whatever challenges come their way. It's like they're saying, okay, I'm scared, but I'm not going to let that fear stop me. I'm going to keep moving forward, I'm going to keep believing in myself, and I'm going to keep trusting that everything's going to be okay. And, that's a really powerful message, right? It's a message of hope, of resilience, and of courage. And it's a message that we can all take to heart, especially when we're struggling with our own fears and anxieties. The most important thing to do is to keep your head up and keep on fighting. You're capable of anything that you set your mind to. Okay, so what does this all mean? What's the final piece of the puzzle? I am seriously dying to know. What's the last card going to be? Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Okay, here we go. Let's see what else the cards have to say. Okay, so, the Nine of Swords. It's intense, right? It's like, whoa, where did that come from? But honestly, it's so real because life isn't always easy, and it's not always sunshine and rainbows. So I want to tie this all together, right? I want to make sense of this whole journey we've been on, from the Star to the Nine of Swords and everything in between. And I want to leave you feeling empowered, feeling hopeful, and feeling ready to take on whatever comes your way. So here we go. First of all, I want to say that it's okay to feel all of these things, okay? It's okay to feel hopeful and optimistic, like the Star and the Ten of Cups. It's okay to feel grounded and secure, like the Queen of Pentacles. It's okay to feel vulnerable and connected, like the Two of Cups. It's okay to feel joyful and self-accepting, like the Sun. But it's also okay to feel stuck and uncertain, like the Hanged Man. And it's okay to feel anxious and worried, like the Nine of Swords. All of these feelings are valid. All of these feelings are a part of the human experience. And it's important to acknowledge them all, to not try to suppress them or ignore them. Because when you do that, they just get bigger and louder. I think it is especially important for people to understand it's okay to feel all these things. So, how do we balance all of these different energies? How do we navigate these emotional depths? Well, that's where the Smoky quartz butterfly comes in, right? That balancing crystal. It's all about finding that middle ground, about acknowledging the dark and the light, about embracing the challenges while still maintaining a sense of hope. It's about being realistic, but also believing in the possibility of good things to come. I think that the best way to manage these energies is to be as proactive as possible. And you know what? I think this whole reading has been about that, about finding that balance, about reconciling those feelings. It's like, you start with the Star, with that hope and that vision, but then you have to ground it with the Queen of Pentacles, with that practicality and that stability. Then you get the Ten of Cups, that dream of perfect happiness, but then you realize that you have to make sacrifices, you have to let go of things, you have to surrender with the Hanged Man. Then you open yourself up to connection with the Two of Cups, but that also means opening yourself up to the possibility of getting hurt, to those anxieties of the Nine of Swords. And then, finally, you find that joy and self-acceptance with the Sun, but you also realize that you still have to deal with those anxieties, that the journey isn't over yet. It's just a cycle, a constant reevaluation of where you are. It's not easy, but it is possible. So maybe this is a time where you should show off your beautiful, authentic self. You're capable of anything. So what can you do? Well, first of all, I think it's important to practice self-care, to take care of your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, eating healthy foods, exercising regularly, and spending time with people who lift you up. Make sure you're setting healthy boundaries, saying no to things that drain your energy, and prioritizing your own needs. And make sure you're doing things that bring you joy, whether it's reading a book, taking a bath, or going for a walk in nature. Prioritize your own health and well-being. It is important that you love yourself and do not place unachievable expectations on yourself. Secondly, I think it's important to practice mindfulness, to be present in the moment, to not get caught up in future worries or past regrets. Pay attention to your thoughts and feelings, but don't judge them. Just observe them, acknowledge them, and let them pass. Practice gratitude, focusing on the good things in your life and appreciating the small moments. Practice compassion, treating yourself with kindness and understanding, even when you're struggling. Be kind to yourself. You have to nurture your inner self so that you can take on the world in a healthy way. Thirdly, I think it's important to seek help and support when you need it. Don't be afraid to talk to a therapist, a counselor, or a trusted friend. Don't be afraid to ask for help, to admit that you're struggling. You're not alone, and there are people who care about you and want to support you. Let them be there for you. Surround yourself with the people you love. Let them pick you up when you fall. Fourthly, I think it's important to challenge your negative thoughts to replace them with more positive and realistic ones. When you find yourself thinking something negative, ask yourself if it's really true. Is there any evidence to support it? Or are you just making assumptions? Are you exaggerating? Are you being too hard on yourself? Then try to reframe the thought in a more positive light. Instead of thinking, I'm going to fail, try thinking, I'm going to do my best and that's all I can do. Instead of thinking, I'm not good enough, try thinking, I'm worthy of love and happiness just as I am. Fifthly, I think it's important to focus on your goals, to have something to look forward to have a sense of purpose. What do you want to achieve in your life? What are your dreams? What are your passions? Set some goals, both big and small, and start working towards them. Break them down into smaller, more manageable steps, and celebrate your progress along the way. And you know what? I'm also feeling like this is a time for creativity, for expressing yourself in some way. Maybe it's through writing or painting or dancing or music. Maybe it's through cooking or gardening or decorating. Whatever it is, find a way to express your inner self, to release your emotions, and to tap into your creativity. It is extremely important to express yourself in some way. There are so many things that will help you get your feelings out. You are a capable and powerful person who is full of light. And finally, I think it's important to have faith, to believe that everything is going to be okay, even when it doesn't feel like it. Trust that the universe has your back, that you're strong enough to handle whatever comes your way, and that even if things do fall apart, you'll be able to pick yourself up and start again. Have faith in yourself, have faith in the universe, and have faith in the power of love. If you keep working on yourself, you can reach the beautiful potential you have deep inside. So yeah, that's it. That's the whole reading. I know it's been a lot, but I hope it's been helpful. I hope it's given you some clarity, some guidance, and some hope. I hope it's reminded you that you're not alone, that you're loved, and that you're capable of anything. And remember that smoky quartz butterfly. It's a reminder that you're strong, that you're resilient, and that you're capable of balancing even the most challenging emotions. It's a reminder that you're beautiful both inside and out, and that you have the power to create a life filled with love, joy, and fulfillment. You can spread your wings and you can fly. You've got this. I believe in you. And I'm so excited to see what you create in your life. So much love, smoky quartz butterflies. Bye. Okay, so with the amethyst sphere grounding us, and our theme being all about seeking clarity and understanding the deeper reasons behind this person's feelings, we're really trying to get to the heart of the matter here. We want to cut through any confusion and see what's truly going on, you know? So let's dive right into these cards. First up, we have the Ace of Wands. Okay, aces are always about new beginnings, right? New opportunities, fresh starts, that kind of vibe. And wands, well, that's fire energy. It's passion, inspiration, action. So the Ace of Wands is like a spark. It's this burst of creative energy, a sudden urge to do something, to create something new. It can be a really exciting time, full of potential and possibilities. I'm seeing like maybe they're feeling this sudden surge of inspiration, this desire to start something new, especially in the realm of like romance or relationships. It's almost like they've been waiting for the right moment or the right person, and now, bam, it's here. This card isn't about the long, slow burn. It's about that initial spark, that instant connection. It's about that feeling of, oh, wow, this could be something amazing. But here's the thing, Ace of Wands is just the beginning. It's not the whole story, you know? It's pure potential. It's that raw, unfiltered energy that needs to be nurtured and directed. So, while it's super exciting, it's also important to remember that it's just the first step. It's like they have this amazing idea, this burning desire, but they haven't actually done anything about it yet. You know what I mean? It's all in the planning stages, or maybe even just a feeling at this point. It could be anything from like, suddenly deciding to take up a new hobby together, to feeling inspired to finally express their feelings for you. Or maybe it's a new way of looking at your relationship, a fresh perspective that ignites their passion. It's all about that initial spark of excitement and inspiration. But the question is, what are they going to do with it? That's the key, right? And you know what? This Ace of Wands can sometimes represent like a creative project, or even like a literal new beginning in terms of like moving in together or starting a family. It really just depends on where they're at in their life and where you're at in your life. But it's definitely pointing towards a potent surge of creative and passionate energy, like it's just been waiting to be unleashed. And now it finally is. So exciting. Okay, so next we have the Lover's card. Ooh la la. Now this isn't just about romance, although of course it can be. The Lover's card is really about choices, decisions, and partnerships. It's about alignment, values, and making a conscious choice to be with someone or something. It can also represent, like, feeling torn between two different paths or two different people. It's a major card, and it carries a lot of weight, you know. I'm seeing that this person might be at a crossroads in their life, especially in regards to their relationship with you. They could be facing a big decision about where they want things to go or how they want to define your connection. It's not necessarily a negative thing. It just means they're really thinking deeply about what they want and what they value in a partnership. It could be that they're weighing the pros and cons of committing to you on a deeper level. Or maybe they're trying to decide if you're the right person for them in the long term. It's not necessarily that they're unsure about you specifically, but more about them figuring out what they truly want and need in a relationship. It's about making sure that your values and goals are aligned, you know. And the thing about the Lover's card is that it's not always easy. It requires honesty, self-awareness, and a willingness to communicate openly. It's about facing your fears and insecurities and making a decision that feels authentic and true to yourself. And it is about conscious choice. This could also mean that they're feeling pulled in two different directions. Maybe there's someone else in the picture, or maybe they're torn between their desire for a relationship and their desire for freedom and independence. It's a tough spot to be in, and it requires a lot of soul-searching. But ultimately, the Lover's card is about choosing the path that resonates most deeply with your heart and soul. It's about choosing love in whatever form that takes. And remember, love isn't always easy. Sometimes it requires sacrifice and compromise. It's like they need to figure out what that means for them. So maybe they are wondering how to merge the initial excitement of the Ace of Wands with the longer-term commitments of the Lovers. Is that initial spark sustainable? Can it grow into something deeper and more meaningful? These are the questions they might be grappling with right now. Okay, and then we have the Moon. Ah, the Moon. This card is all about intuition, secrets, and the subconscious. It's about the things that are hidden beneath the surface, the things that we don't always see or acknowledge. It can represent confusion, illusion, and uncertainty. It's like, what's lurking in the shadows? What truths are being concealed? I'm seeing that there might be some hidden feelings or motivations at play here. This person might not be entirely honest with you, or even with themselves, about what they're truly feeling. There could be some subconscious fears or insecurities that are influencing their behavior. It could be that they're afraid of commitment or afraid of getting hurt. Or maybe they're harboring some unresolved issues from the past that are preventing them from fully opening up to you. The Moon card is asking you to look beyond the surface and try to understand what's really going on beneath the facade. It's about trusting your intuition and paying attention to your gut feelings. And here's the thing, the Moon can also represent deception. It's not necessarily that this person is intentionally trying to deceive you, but they might be misleading you or themselves without even realizing it. It's about the stories we tell ourselves, the illusions we create to protect ourselves from pain. Maybe they're not ready to face their true feelings, or maybe they're afraid of what those feelings might mean. The Moon is urging you to be patient and compassionate, but also to be aware and observant. Don't ignore the red flags, but also don't jump to conclusions. Trust your intuition and allow things to unfold in their own time. So it is like maybe that Ace of Wands excitement is shrouded in some uncertainty, and that lover's choice is made more difficult and, complex by these hidden, subconscious factors. It is like the energy of the moon is muddying things up because clarity isn't possible in the dark. It is like the moon is hiding something. And that something may very well be the motivation behind why they aren't acting on this Ace of Wands energy, or why they are having a hard time making a choice related to the Lover's card. Okay, so now, let's weave these 3 cards together, okay? We've got the Ace of Wands, the spark of passion, the new beginning. Then we have the Lovers, the choice, the partnership, the alignment of values. And finally, we have the Moon, the secrets, the illusions, the subconscious fears. I'm seeing a situation where this person is feeling this intense spark of attraction and excitement towards you, represented by the Ace of Wands. They're drawn to you, they're inspired by you, and they see the potential for something amazing between you. However, they're also facing a major decision, represented by the Lovers. They're trying to decide if you're the right person for them, if your values align, and if they're ready to commit to a deeper connection. But here's where the Moon comes in. There are some hidden factors at play that are making this decision more difficult than it needs to be. Maybe they're afraid of getting hurt. Maybe they're not ready to face their true feelings. Or maybe there's something from their past that's holding them back. Whatever it is, these subconscious fears and insecurities are creating a sense of confusion and uncertainty. They could even be subconsciously sabotaging the relationship, So it's like they want to jump in with both feet, thanks to the Ace of Wands, but something is holding them back. They're standing at a crossroads, unsure of which path to take, and the Moon is obscuring their vision, making it difficult to see clearly. It's a classic push-pull dynamic, where they're drawn to you but also afraid of getting too close. It's like, I want this, but I'm also terrified of this. And that's so real, right? We've all been there. Maybe they are having issues reconciling this new Ace of Wands energy that could potentially be in conflict with old ways of thinking and feeling. The fresh burst of inspiration is sort of, throwing a wrench in their normal decision-making process. This is causing all of the things that are hidden beneath the surface to rise up, to make a choice even harder. And the thing is, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. The Moon can also represent intuition, so it's possible that their subconscious is trying to tell them something important. Maybe there's a reason why they're hesitant to commit, or maybe there's something they need to address before they can fully open up to you. The key is to be patient and understanding, but also to trust your own intuition. Pay attention to the red flags, but also look for the signs that they're genuinely trying to work through their issues. And most importantly, communicate openly and honestly with them. Ask them how they're feeling, what they're afraid of, and what they need from you. It is like maybe they are scared of the intensity of this new beginning that the Ace of Wands represents. New beginnings can be scary, especially when they involve a lot of passion and emotion. And the Lover's card, it requires them to make a choice, which is not always easy when you have a lot of different feelings and considerations going on. So it's like there's a lot of potential here, a lot of excitement, but also a lot of uncertainty and hidden feelings that need to be addressed. It's a complex situation, but also one that's full of possibilities, if you're both willing to be honest and open with each other. Okay, so, overall, I'm seeing a lot of potential for growth and connection here, but also some challenges that need to be overcome. This person is definitely drawn to you, but they're also grappling with some internal conflicts that are making it difficult for them to fully commit. This amethyst sphere is telling us to stay grounded, to trust the process, and to have faith that everything will unfold in its own time. And next, we're gonna dive even deeper into what's hidden with another card, so stay tuned. Okay, so, next up we have the Page of Swords. Ooh, okay, so pages, they're like messengers, right? They're, new beginnings in the suit. And swords, that's all about, communication, thoughts, truth, the mind, So the Page of Swords is like a new thought, a new idea, maybe a message, or some kind of communication coming in, but it's also got this energy of being a little bit anxious, a little bit on edge, It's like they're trying to figure things out. They're using their mind, their intellect, to, cut through the confusion. But, they might be a little bit, scattered, a little bit all over the place, It's like they've got all these thoughts swirling around in their head, and they're trying to make sense of it all. And swords can be sharp, right? So this page can also be, a little bit, sarcastic, a little bit, defensive, They're ready to, defend their ideas, defend their point of view. Okay, so how does this connect with what we've already got? Okay, so we've got the Ace of Wands, that spark, that new beginning. Then we've got the Lovers, that choice, that decision. And then we've got the Moon, that hidden stuff, those secrets. So it's like this Page of Swords is coming in to, bring some clarity to the situation, Maybe they're finally starting to, think clearly about what's going on, what they're feeling. Maybe they're finally ready to, communicate their thoughts and feelings to you, But, because it's swords, it might not be, all sunshine and rainbows, It might be a little bit, direct, a little bit, honest, maybe even a little bit, brutal, But, it's coming from a place of wanting to, be truthful, wanting to, be clear. Or, what else it could be? It could be that they're, overthinking things, They're analyzing everything to death. They're trying to, figure out every single possible outcome. And it's just making them more anxious and more confused. They're getting lost in their own head, Because the Moon is still there, right? So, there's still that hidden stuff, that confusion. And maybe this Page of Swords is, trying to, use their intellect to, dispel the illusions of the Moon, but it's not quite working, They're still seeing things through a distorted lens. Okay, so, let's say, for example, that they're feeling that Ace of Wands spark, right? That excitement, that attraction. But then they're also feeling that Moon energy, that fear, that insecurity. So they're trying to, analyze their feelings. They're trying to, figure out why they're feeling this way, what it all means. And maybe they're coming up with all these different scenarios in their head, all these different possibilities, and it's just making them more anxious, It's like, okay, I feel this spark, but what if it's just lust? What if it's not real? What if I get hurt? What if I'm not good enough? All those kinds of things, And then, with the Lover's card there, they're trying to make a choice, right? But with this Page of Swords energy, they might be overthinking the choice, They're making pros and cons lists. They're analyzing every single aspect of the relationship, and it's just making it harder to actually make a decision from the heart. It's like they're so caught up in their head that they're not actually listening to their intuition. They're not actually connecting with their feelings, And that Moon energy is still there, clouding things, so it's even harder to make a clear decision. So this Page of Swords can also be about, gossip, Maybe they're hearing things about you from other people, or maybe they're talking about you to other people, And it's not necessarily malicious, but it's just that nervous energy, that need to, process things out loud. It's like they're trying to, gather information, they're trying to, get other people's opinions, but it's not necessarily helping them, It's just adding to the confusion. Or, what? It could be that they're, doing research, Maybe they're Googling you, or maybe they're looking at your social media, trying to, find out more about you. And again, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just that nervous energy, that need to, know everything, It is like they want to be prepared, they want to be informed, but they might be getting caught up in, superficial details, or they might be misinterpreting things, And remember that this Page of Swords can be, a little bit defensive, a little bit sarcastic. So maybe they're, putting up a wall, They're trying to protect themselves from getting hurt. Maybe they're, acting like they don't care, or they're not that interested, but really they're just scared, They're scared of getting vulnerable, they're scared of opening up, so they're putting up this, facade of being cool and detached. And sometimes, that Page of Swords energy can be about, being a know-it-all, Maybe they're trying to, impress you with their knowledge, or maybe they're just trying to, prove that they're smart, And it's not necessarily intentional, but it's just that need to, feel competent, that need to, feel in control. But the thing is, like, nobody likes a know-it-all, right? So it can actually be a turnoff. But like underneath all that, it's just insecurity, you know? It's just a fear of not being good enough. So, like, what do you do with all this? Like, how do you navigate this Page of Swords energy? Well, first of all, like, be patient, you know? Like, don't take everything they say or do at face value. Try to see what's underneath the surface. Try to understand where they're coming from. And like, don't get defensive yourself, you know? Like, if they say something that hurts your feelings, try to, like, communicate calmly and honestly. Don't just lash out, don't just shut down. And encourage them to, like, be open and honest with you, you know? Like, create a safe space where they feel like they can share their thoughts and feelings without being judged. Ask them how they're feeling, ask them what they're thinking about. And like, remind them that it's okay to be vulnerable, it's okay to not have all the answers. And like, help them to, like, get out of their head and connect with their heart, you know? Like, do things that are fun and playful, do things that are relaxing and grounding. Help them to, like, tap into their intuition, help them to, like, trust their gut. Because, like, ultimately, the Page of Swords is about learning, it's about growing, it's about finding your voice, you know? So, like, support them in that process, encourage them to, like, be themselves, to, like, express themselves authentically. And remember that this is just one card, right? It's not the whole story. It's just one piece of the puzzle. So, like, don't get too caught up in the details, don't get too focused on the negative aspects. Just, like, take it all in stride and trust that things will unfold in their own time. So it's like, the Page of Swords is bringing some mental energy to the situation, some communication, but it's also bringing some anxiety and overthinking. It is like they are trying to figure things out, trying to make sense of their feelings, but they might be getting lost in their head. But like, with patience and understanding, you can help them to, like, find their voice, to, like, communicate their truth, and to, like, make a decision from the heart. And what's super exciting is that we have more cards to pull, so we can keep digging and see, like, where all of this is going. It's like, what's the next step in this journey? What's the next piece of the puzzle? I'm so excited to find out. Are you ready? Because I am. Okay. So, like, next up we have the Two of Swords. Ooh, this is interesting. So the Two of Swords, it's all about, like, being at a crossroads, right? But like, instead of making a decision, you're just kind of, like, blocking yourself off, you know? You're, like, putting up a wall, you're avoiding the issue. It's like, you know, you need to make a choice, but you're just, like, pretending that it's not there. And like, usually in the image, the person is blindfolded, right? So it's like, you're refusing to see the truth, you're refusing to acknowledge what's really going on. So like, how does this fit into the mix? Okay, so we've got that Ace of Wands, right? That spark, that new beginning. But then we've got the Lovers, that choice, that decision. And the Moon, that hidden stuff, those secrets. And then the Page of Swords, all that overthinking and anxiety. So, like, now we've got the Two of Swords on top of that. It's like, all that indecision and confusion has just led to, like, a complete stalemate, you know? Like, they're so overwhelmed by everything that they're just, like, shutting down. They're, like, putting up a wall, they're refusing to deal with it. It is like, instead of dealing with these heavy thoughts, feelings, considerations, it is like they are just trying to block it out. It is like they don't want to make a wrong move. So, like, with the Ace of Wands, they're feeling that spark, right? That excitement, that attraction. But then, with the Lovers, they're realizing that, oh crap, this means I have to make a choice. I have to decide if I'm really ready for this. And then the Moon comes in, and it's like, oh wait, there's all this other stuff that I haven't even dealt with yet, all these fears and insecurities. And then the Page of Swords chimes in, and they are starting to think about it, overthinking it, and analyzing it from every single angle. And now, with the Two of Swords, it's like they're just completely frozen, you know? They're like, I can't deal with this. It's too much. I'm just going to pretend that none of this is happening. This is a person who is stuck. But why? So, like, what could be causing this stalemate? What are they so afraid of? Well, like, one possibility is that they're afraid of getting hurt, right? Like, maybe they've been hurt in the past and they're scared of opening themselves up again. So they're putting up a wall to protect themselves. It's like, if I don't make a decision, then I can't get hurt. It's like, by staying neutral, they are hopping to stay safe. And you know what? That's valid. Another possibility is that they're afraid of vulnerability, you know? Like, maybe they're not used to being open and honest about their feelings. Maybe they're afraid of showing their true selves to you, so they're keeping their distance. And you know, the moon being there makes that even more likely. It's like the moon is all about hidden emotions, right? So maybe they're just not ready to face those emotions, let alone share them with you. They could be so deep down that they aren't even fully aware of them. It's like a tangled up mess. Or, you know what else it could be? It could be that they have conflicting desires, you know. Like, maybe they want to be with you, but they also want to be free and independent. Maybe they want the excitement of a new relationship, but they're also scared of the responsibility. So, they're torn between two different things, and they don't know which way to go. The Lover's card really emphasizes that. It's like they're being pulled in two different directions, and they don't know how to reconcile those conflicting desires. Or maybe they like you, but not that much, and they are afraid of hurting you by saying so. And like, sometimes the Two of Swords can also be about, like, refusing to see the other person's point of view, you know? Like, maybe they're so caught up in their own head that they're not even considering your feelings, your needs, your perspective. It's like they're just focused on what they want, and they're not even trying to understand where you're coming from. They may not even mean to do this, it just happens. And it is important that you don't let your own desires cloud your judgment either. So, like, how might this stalemate manifest in their behavior? What might you actually see them doing? Well, like, one possibility is that they might become emotionally withdrawn, you know? Like, they might stop communicating as much, they might become less affectionate, they might just seem distant and preoccupied. And it's not necessarily that they don't care about you anymore, it's just that they're trying to protect themselves, they're trying to create some space. This card is screaming internal conflict, like this person is at war with themselves. Or, you know what else it could be? They might start sending mixed signals, you know. Like, one day they're all over you, they're telling you how much they like you, and the next day they're completely cold and distant. And it's not necessarily that they're trying to play games with you, it's just that they're confused, they're torn, they don't know what they want. I mean, Ace of Wands says they are attracted. But these other cards indicate that their attraction is being heavily suppressed. And sometimes, the Two of Swords can also manifest as, like, passive aggressiveness, you know? Like, maybe they're not directly expressing their anger or resentment, but they're finding other ways to, like, get under your skin. Maybe they're making snide comments, maybe they're being sarcastic, maybe they're just being generally difficult to be around. It's like they're not willing to confront the issue directly, so they're just letting their frustration come out in these subtle, indirect ways. They may think they are being subtle, but it isn't likely. If you are seeing it, then other people in their life are definitely seeing it too. And you know what else? Because of the moon, this can manifest as, like, straight up lying. They may just not be honest with you at all, or even themselves. So, like, what can you do about all of this? How can you help them to break through this stalemate? Well, like, first of all, encourage them to communicate openly and honestly with you, you know. Like, let them know that it's safe to share their feelings, that you're not going to judge them, that you're not going to pressure them. Create a space where they feel like they can be vulnerable. And this is important. Because with the Two of Swords here, this person might feel like they have to pick a side, or that they have to do things the way they were always done. It's important that you stress to them that there are other options besides the ones they think they have. And encourage them to trust their intuition, you know. Like, help them to get out of their head and connect with their heart. Remind them that they already have the answers inside of them. They just need to listen to their inner voice. And with that moon card, there is a lot of intuition there. And most importantly, encourage them to face their fears, you know? Like, help them to identify what they're really afraid of, and then help them to challenge those fears. Remind them that fear is just an illusion, that it's not real. It's just a story that they're telling themselves. And, like, remind them that they're strong, that they're capable, that they can handle whatever comes their way. Remind them that they aren't alone. This will pass. You know, just be supportive, be patient, and be understanding. And also, like, don't be afraid to set your own boundaries, you know? Like, if they're being emotionally unavailable, if they're sending mixed signals, if they're being passive-aggressive, don't just sit there and take it. Let them know that their behavior is not okay, that you deserve to be treated with respect. But do it in a kind and compassionate way, you know. Like, don't attack them, don't blame them, just express your needs and your boundaries clearly and firmly. Ultimately, they are responsible for how they act. It's like this Two of Swords is saying, okay, you're at a crossroads, you're feeling overwhelmed, but you can't just stay stuck here forever. You need to make a choice, you need to move forward. And the only way to do that is to face your fears, to communicate openly, and to trust your intuition. And you may need to really help them to hear that message. It's so exciting because we have more cards coming, so we can see how they are going to move forward, and maybe we can even get some insight on the best way for you to make sure that they do. Are you ready to pull another card? Because I am just on the edge of my seat. Okay, so, like, next up we have the Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, girl, this is huge. Okay, so, like the Wheel of Fortune, it's all about cycles, right? It's about destiny, it's about turning points, it's about luck, both good and bad, you know? It is about karma. It is about change. It's like what goes up must come down, what comes around goes around, you know? It's like things are always changing. Nothing ever stays the same. So, like, how does this fit into our story? Okay, so we've got that Ace of Wands, that spark, that new beginning. And then we've got the Lovers, that choice, that decision. And then we've got the Moon, that hidden stuff, those secrets. And then the Page of Swords, all that overthinking and anxiety, you know. And the Two of Swords, that block, that stalemate. So, like, now we've got the Wheel of Fortune coming in, and it's like surprise. Things are about to change, whether you like it or not. Like that stalemate that they're in, that Two of Swords energy. It's not gonna last forever, you know. The wheel is turning and things are gonna start moving again. And like, that can be scary, right? Especially when you're feeling stuck and comfortable, even if you're not happy. But like, it can also be really exciting, because it means that things are gonna get better, you know? It means that there's a chance for things to improve, for things to, like, finally move forward. So, like, with that Ace of Wands spark, maybe this Wheel of Fortune is bringing, like, a new opportunity, a new chance to, like, pursue that passion, that excitement, you know? Like, maybe the universe is giving them a little nudge, saying, hey, remember that thing you were so excited about? Well, here's your chance to go for it. Or, like, with the Lover's card, maybe this Wheel of Fortune is forcing them to, like, finally make a decision, you know? Like, maybe they've been putting it off, but now the universe is like, okay, time's up. You gotta choose. Which way are you gonna go? And, you know, that can be scary because making a choice means closing off other possibilities, right? But it also means that you're finally taking control of your life. You're finally moving forward. And with that Moon card there, maybe this Wheel of Fortune is bringing some hidden truths to light, you know? Like, maybe those secrets that they've been keeping, those fears that they've been hiding, are finally coming out into the open. And yeah, that can be painful, it can be scary, but it's also really important because you can't heal what you can't see, right? You can't move forward until you face your demons. And with that Page of Swords, maybe this Wheel of Fortune is, like, shaking up their thought patterns, you know? Like maybe they've been stuck in this cycle of overthinking and anxiety, but now the universe is like, okay, time to break free from that. Time to start thinking differently. And the Two of Swords? Girl, the wheel is gonna run right over that block, I'm telling you right now. The Wheel of Fortune does not care about your walls. It's gonna smash through them. It's like all that resistance, all that avoidance. It's not gonna work anymore, you know? The universe is gonna force them to deal with it, whether they like it or not. But like, here's the thing. The Wheel of Fortune isn't always about, like, good luck, right? It's not always about things getting better. Sometimes it can be about things getting worse, you know? Sometimes it can be about bad luck, about challenges, about setbacks. Like, maybe that new opportunity that's coming in isn't what they expected, you know? Maybe it's more difficult, more challenging than they thought it would be. Or maybe that decision that they're being forced to make is, like, a really tough one, you know? Maybe there's no easy answer, maybe both options are painful. Or maybe those hidden truths that are coming to light are, like, really ugly, really painful, Maybe they reveal some things about themselves or about the situation that they didn't want to know. Or maybe that shake-up in their thought patterns is, like, really disorienting, really confusing, Maybe they feel like they're losing their grip on reality. But like, even when the Wheel of Fortune brings challenges and setbacks, it's still ultimately a good thing, because it's teaching you something, it's helping you to grow, it's helping you to evolve. It's like, sometimes you have to go through the tough times to appreciate the good times, right? Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom before you can start climbing back up. It is all part of a learning cycle. So, like, how might this Wheel of Fortune energy manifest in their behavior? What might you actually see them doing? Well, like, one possibility is that they might become really impulsive, Like, they might start making rash decisions without thinking things through. They might start acting out in ways that are out of character for them. And it's not necessarily that they're trying to be reckless. It's just that they're feeling this urge to, like, break free from the old patterns, to, like, shake things up. Or what else it could be? They might become really unpredictable, Like, one minute they're happy and excited, the next minute they're sad and withdrawn. One minute they're all over you, the next minute they're completely cold and distant. And it's not necessarily that they're trying to mess with you, it's just that they're going through a lot of changes internally, and they're not really sure how to handle it. And sometimes, the Wheel of Fortune can also manifest as, like, a feeling of being out of control, Like, maybe they feel like their life is being dictated by fate, that they have no say in what's happening. And that can be really scary, because we all want to feel like we're in control of our own lives, right? We all want to feel like we have agency. So, like, what can you do to help them navigate this Wheel of Fortune energy? Well, like, first of all, remind them that change is inevitable, Like, remind them that nothing ever stays the same, that things are always changing. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just a part of life. It's what keeps things interesting, right? And encourage them to embrace the change, to go with the flow, to trust that the universe has a plan for them. And help them to see the bigger picture, Like, help them to understand that even when things are tough, even when they're facing challenges, it's all ultimately leading them somewhere good. It's all helping them to grow and evolve. This isn't just happening to them, it's happening for them. And remind them that they're not alone, Like, remind them that you're there for them, that you're gonna support them through whatever comes their way. And encourage them to reach out to other people in their lives who can offer support and guidance. And most importantly, encourage them to trust their intuition, Like, help them to get out of their head and connect with their heart. Remind them that they already have the answers inside of them. They just need to listen to their inner voice. Because that moon card is still there, right? So there's still that intuition, that connection to the subconscious. So they need to tap into that, they need to trust their gut. So it's like, this Wheel of Fortune is bringing change, it's bringing destiny, it's bringing turning points. It might feel really scary, it might feel really overwhelming, but it's also bringing opportunity, it's bringing growth, it's bringing evolution. And with you supporting them, they can get through it. They need to remember that the wheel is always turning, that things are always changing, and that even when things are tough, it's all ultimately leading them somewhere good. It is like the universe is stepping in to shake things up, to force them to move forward, to break free from their old patterns. But what does this all mean? How can they actually harness this energy and make it work for them? That's what I'm dying to know. And guess what? We get to find out because we have one more card to pull. I am so excited to see what guidance the universe has for us. Are you ready? Because I am. Okay. So next up we have the devil. Whoa, okay, this is intense. So the devil card, it's all about restriction, right? It's about being trapped, it's about being addicted, it's about being controlled by something outside of yourself. But it's also about choices, It's about recognizing that you have the power to break free, but you're choosing not to. It's about the chains that bind you are only as strong as you allow them to be. It is also about the ego and about our shadow self. So how does this fit into our story so far? Okay, so we've got that Ace of Wands, that spark of attraction, right? That new beginning. And then we've got the Lovers, that choice, that decision. And then the Moon, that hidden stuff, those secrets. And then we have that Page of Swords energy, all that overthinking, and then that Two of Swords paralysis. Then the Wheel of Fortune shakes things up. And now the Devil. Oh my God, this is huge. It is like this person is feeling trapped, They're feeling restricted by something. And the thing is, it might not even be something real. It might be something that they're creating in their own mind. It is like they are so stuck in their ego and that Two of Swords stalemate that they are too blind to realize they can change. So, with that Ace of Wands, it's like they're feeling this intense desire, this passion, but they're also feeling like they can't have it, They're feeling like there's something standing in their way, preventing them from pursuing that desire. And that thing could be anything. It could be fear, it could be insecurity, it could be societal expectations, it could be past trauma, it could be anything. And then, with the Lovers card, it's like they're feeling torn between two choices, but they're also feeling like they don't have the power to make a choice, They're feeling like they're being controlled by something outside of themselves, like they're being forced to choose one thing over another. Maybe they feel like they have to do what they have always done, but that is just their ego talking. Maybe they're feeling stuck in a situation that they don't want to be in, but they don't see a way out. And the Moon, this could be feeding the Devil big time. It is like all of the things that they are hiding from themselves, they are also using to restrict themselves. They are trapped in their shadow self that the Moon has been holding. Those secrets hidden deep down. The Devil loves that because now it has something to use against them. The Devil is like, oh, you don't want anyone to know about this? Then you better do what I say. It's like those secrets, those fears, are the chains that are binding them, and maybe they don't even realize it. And then that Page of Swords, anxiety and overthinking. The Devil is using that too. It's like, oh, you're so worried about what everyone else thinks. Then you better not step out of line. You better not do anything that might upset them. It's like the Devil is using their own thoughts against them, making them feel trapped and controlled. They are not taking care of their mental health, and that Devil feeds on it. And that Two of Swords stalemate, that is perfect for the Devil. Because as long as they're stuck, as long as they're not making a decision, the Devil has power over them. It is like the Devil is the stalemate. Because when you don't choose, the Devil chooses for you. It's like, oh, you can't decide what to do. Then I'll decide for you, and I'm going to make sure you stay right here, stuck and miserable. And then the Wheel of Fortune comes along, shaking things up, right? Well, the Devil is like, oh no you don't, I'm not going to let you change things, I'm going to hold on even tighter. The more things change, the more the Devil tries to stay the same. The Devil thrives on stagnation. It doesn't want them to move forward, because if they move forward, they might break free from the Devil's control. So what kinds of things could be trapping them? What kinds of chains could they be bound by? Well, it could be an addiction, right? It could be a substance addiction, like drugs or alcohol. Or it could be a behavioral addiction, like gambling or sex or even work. It is all about those short-term dopamine fixes. Anything that is giving them a short burst of pleasure, but is ultimately harming them in the long run. Or it could be a toxic relationship, right? It could be a relationship where they're being controlled or manipulated by someone else. Or it could be a relationship where they're constantly sacrificing their own needs for the sake of the other person. They are afraid of being alone, so they will put up with anything. It is like they're so afraid of being alone that they're willing to stay in a relationship that's making them miserable. And it doesn't even have to be romantic. This can be a family member, or a friend, or even a coworker. Or it could be a limiting belief, right? It could be a belief that they're not good enough, or that they're not worthy of love, or that they're not capable of achieving their dreams. It is a negative self-image. These are all just stories that they're telling themselves, but they're believing them so strongly that they're becoming trapped by them. And these beliefs often come from childhood. Something that someone said to them years ago, and they are still carrying it around. Or it could be a fear of failure, right? It could be a fear of taking risks, of putting themselves out there, of trying something new. They are afraid to fail, so they don't even try. They are too afraid of the embarrassment of not being good at something, so they don't even start. It's like they're so afraid of failing that they're missing out on all the amazing opportunities that life has to offer. Or it could be a fear of success. Yes, that's a thing. They are afraid of what might happen if they actually achieve their dreams. They are afraid of the responsibility. They are afraid of the attention. They are afraid of the change that might come with success. They are too comfortable where they are to try to improve. It is like they're so afraid of succeeding that they're sabotaging themselves. So, how might this devil energy manifest in their behavior? What might you actually see them doing? Well, one possibility is that they might become really self-destructive, right? They might start engaging in behaviors that are harmful to their health, their relationships, their career, their overall well-being. It is like they're actively sabotaging themselves, like they don't even care about their own happiness. They might know that they are hurting themselves, but they do it anyway. Or, you know what else it could be? They might become really controlling, right? They might start trying to control everything and everyone around them. It is because they feel so out of control on the inside that they need to control their surroundings in order to feel safe. They might become really rigid and inflexible, refusing to compromise or see things from other people's perspectives. Or they might become really materialistic, right? They might start chasing after money and possessions, thinking that those things will make them happy. But it never works, right? They keep accumulating more and more stuff, but they're still feeling empty inside. It is like they're trying to fill a void with material things, but the void is always there. Or they might become really cynical, right? They might start seeing the worst in everything and everyone. They might lose faith in humanity. They might become bitter and resentful. It's like they've given up on hope. They've decided that the world is a terrible place, and there's nothing they can do to change it. So, what can you do to help them break free from this devil energy? How can you help them to release those chains? Well, first of all, remind them that they have the power to choose, Remind them that they're not victims, that they're not trapped, that they have the ability to change their circumstances. Because the devil wants them to believe that they are powerless, but they're not. And encourage them to face their fears, Help them to identify what they're really afraid of, and then help them to challenge those fears. Remind them that fear is just an illusion, that it's not real. And that moon card is all about illusions. It is like the devil is using their own fears against them, but they can break free from those fears by facing them head-on. And encourage them to practice self-care, Help them to take care of their physical, emotional, and mental health. Encourage them to eat healthy, to exercise, to get enough sleep, to meditate, to spend time in nature, to do things that make them happy. It is by filling their own cup, they are less susceptible to the devil's influence. And encourage them to set boundaries, Help them to identify what their boundaries are, and then help them to enforce those boundaries. Remind them that it's okay to say no, that it's okay to prioritize their own needs, that it's okay to protect themselves from toxic people and situations. Because the devil wants them to believe that they have to sacrifice themselves for others, but they don't. And encourage them to seek help, If they're struggling with an addiction, or a toxic relationship, or a limiting belief, or a fear of failure, encourage them to talk to a therapist, or a counselor, or a support group. There are people who can help them to break free from those chains. Ultimately, this devil card is a wake-up call. It's a reminder that they have the power to choose, that they have the ability to break free from whatever is trapping them. But it's up to them to take action. It's up to them to make the choice to change their lives. And the Amethyst sphere is here to ground them, to help them stay connected to their intuition, to remind them that they're not alone, and to give them the strength to break free from those chains. But how are they going to do that? What's the next step? What's the key to unlocking their freedom? I am dying to know. And guess what? We get to find out because we have one more card to pull. Are you ready to see what the universe has in store for us? Because I am so ready. Okay, so next up we have the star, oh my gosh, after all of that, after all that darkness and restriction and feeling trapped, we get the star. Girl, this is like the universe saying, yes, there is hope, there is healing, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You know, this is just like the most beautiful, hopeful card in the deck, I think. I mean, it's just like pure, unadulterated optimism. So like, the star is all about hope, right? It's about healing, it's about inspiration, it's about faith. It's about knowing that even in the darkest of times, there is always a light shining somewhere. It is like, after being trapped in that devil energy, the star is saying, okay, you've been through a lot, but it's time to release all of that. It's time to heal, it's time to have faith, and it's time to believe in yourself again. It is about knowing that you deserve good things. It is about taking care of yourself. It is about self-love. And like in the image of the star, there's usually like a naked woman pouring water from 2 pitchers, right? And that's all about like nurturing yourself. It's about giving back to the earth. It's about sharing your gifts with the world. It's about being vulnerable, being open, being authentic. It's about allowing yourself to be seen exactly as you are. Because the devil wants to make you feel ashamed or that you have something to hide, but that isn't true. The star wants you to come out of the shadows and show the world who you truly are. So, like, how does this star energy interact with everything else we've seen? Oh, honey, it's like a balm for the soul, okay? It's like with that Ace of Wands, that spark of attraction, the star is saying, yes, that spark is real. It's valid. It's something to be celebrated. Don't let the devil tell you that you don't deserve that passion, that excitement. You do. It is like the universe is giving you permission to embrace that fire, to embrace that desire, to embrace that new beginning. And then, with the Lover's card, that choice, that decision, the star is saying, okay, the choice might be hard, but trust that you have the wisdom to make the right decision for yourself. Listen to your intuition, connect with your heart, and choose the path that brings you the most joy and fulfillment. It's like the star is reminding you that you're not trapped, you have agency, you have the power to choose your own destiny. And then, with the moon, that hidden stuff, those secrets, the star is saying, okay, it's time to bring those shadows into the light. It's time to face those fears, those insecurities, those hidden emotions. Because the only way to heal is to acknowledge what's been lurking in the darkness. It is like the star is shining a light on those hidden places, helping you to see them clearly and compassionately, so you can finally release them and move on. And then, with that Page of Swords, that overthinking and anxiety, the star is saying, okay, it's time to stop living in your head and start living in your heart. It's time to release all that mental chatter, all that analysis paralysis, and just trust that everything is going to be okay. It is like the star is helping you to quiet your mind, to calm your nerves, and to connect with your inner peace. And then, with that Two of Swords, that block, that stalemate, the star is saying, okay, it's time to break free from that paralysis. It's time to take off the blindfold to see the truth and to move forward with courage and conviction. It is like the star is giving you the strength to break through those barriers, to overcome those obstacles, and to finally take action. It's like that Two of Swords energy was keeping you stuck, but the star is setting you free. And then, with that Wheel of Fortune, that change, that destiny, the star is saying, okay, change is inevitable, but you don't have to be afraid of it. Trust that the universe is guiding you towards your highest good, and embrace whatever comes your way with faith and optimism. It is like the star is helping you to see the bigger picture, to understand that even when things are tough, it's all ultimately leading you somewhere amazing. And THNNNN, with that devil energy, that restriction, that feeling trapped, the star is like, nope. Not today, Satan. You have no power here. These chains are broken. You are free. It is like the star is the ultimate antidote to the devil. It's the reminder that you are not defined by your limitations, you are not controlled by your fears, you are not trapped by your circumstances. You are a divine being, full of light and love and infinite potential. So, like, what does this all mean? How can you actually harness this star energy and make it work for you? Well, like, first of all, practice self-care, okay? Like, take care of your physical, emotional, and mental health. Eat healthy, exercise, get enough sleep, meditate, spend time in nature, do things that make you happy. The devil wants you to neglect yourself, but the star wants you to nurture yourself and express yourself creatively. The star is all about sharing your gifts with the world. So find a way to express yourself, whether it's through art, music, writing, dance, or whatever. The devil wants you to hide your light, but the star wants you to shine brightly. The star is about having faith, even when things are tough. So cultivate a sense of optimism, look for the good in every situation, and trust that everything is going to be okay. The devil wants you to be cynical and negative, but the star wants you to be hopeful and positive. Connect with something bigger than yourself. The star is about being connected to the universe, to something divine. So find a way to connect with your spirituality, whether it's through prayer, meditation, or spending time in nature. The devil wants you to feel isolated and alone, but the star wants you to feel connected and supported. The devil wants you to fixate on the short term, but the star is here for the long haul. And be vulnerable, okay? Like, allow yourself to be seen exactly as you are. Don't be afraid to show your emotions, to share your fears, to be authentic. The devil wants you to hide behind a mask, but the star wants you to be real. You need to connect with other people. The devil wants you to shut yourself off from the world, but the star wants you to connect with others, to build meaningful relationships, to share your love and light. And practice forgiveness, okay? Forgive yourself for your past mistakes, forgive others for their transgressions, and let go of any resentment or bitterness you may be holding onto. The devil wants you to hold onto anger and pain, but the star wants you to release it and move on. You need to set healthy boundaries. The devil wants you to let people walk all over you, but the star wants you to stand up for yourself, to protect your energy, and to say no when you need to. Okay, so how might this star energy actually manifest in their behavior? What might you actually see them doing? Well, one possibility is that they might become more optimistic, They might start seeing the good in every situation, they might start believing in themselves again, they might start having hope for the future. They might just seem lighter, brighter, and more joyful. They're actually glowing. Or you know what else it could be? They might become more creative, They might start expressing themselves through art, music, writing, or whatever. They're suddenly tapping into this wellspring of creativity that they didn't even know they had. They're just bursting with ideas and inspiration. Or they might become more compassionate, They might start reaching out to others, offering support and kindness, and just being a generally loving and caring person. They may also start to be kinder to themselves. And sometimes, the star can also manifest as a sense of peace, They might just seem calmer, more centered, and more grounded. They're finally at peace with themselves and with the world. You need to remember that this amethyst sphere is grounding you. It's helping you to stay connected to your intuition, and it's reminding you that you're not alone. You are supported, you are loved, and you are capable of anything you set your mind to. The star is there to give you hope, to give you healing, and to guide you towards your highest potential. And you are worthy of all the good things that are coming your way. I really, truly believe that. You are an amazing, beautiful, powerful being, and you have so much to offer the world. So go out there and shine your light. Hey there, you guys who picked the Garnet Tower. Welcome, welcome. This crystal is all about centering, finding your inner balance, your core. And that really ties into your reading today, because we're diving deep into their true feelings, really figuring out what makes them tick, what their core desires are, What's driving their emotional expressions. So let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so bam, first card out of the gate is the Page of Swords. Ooh, this is interesting. So the Page of Swords, for me anyway, always screams new ideas, new information, a mental spark. It's that feeling of ooh, what's this all about? This person might be getting some kind of message. Maybe it's an actual text or email, or maybe it's just a sudden realization, an epiphany. But here's the thing about the Page of Swords energy. It's still pretty raw. It's like the beginning of an idea, it hasn't fully formed yet. So they might be feeling really excited and curious, but also a little unsure, a little bit scattered. Think of it like, when you're scrolling through TikTok or whatever, and you see something that just grabs your attention. Like, ooh, that looks interesting. But you haven't really thought about it deeply yet, you're just kind of intrigued. And because it's swords, it's very mental, right? So this could be about their thoughts and ideas about you, or about the situation between you two. Maybe they're suddenly realizing something about you, or about what they want from you. Maybe they are like, oh, wait a minute, I never thought about it like that before. But it's important to remember that pages are messengers. They're not the full story. So this is just the beginning of the message. There's more to come. I feel like this is somebody who is in the process of figuring things out, and the Page of Swords is that initial little seed of curiosity and awareness. They're gathering information, observing, maybe even doing a little bit of light stalking on social media, just trying to get a feel for what's going on. Don't get me wrong, though, this isn't necessarily like a deep, obsessive thing. It's more like a casual interest, a flicker of curiosity. They're just starting to pay attention. And that's really important because paying attention is the first step to anything, really. So the Page of Swords is like the opening chapter of this story. Okay, so what happens next? We've got that little spark of curiosity. And then bam, the Fool. Oh, I love this. This is like, okay, the Page of Swords was the, interesting. And the Fool is like, screw it, let's do this. The Fool is all about new beginnings, about taking a leap of faith, about just jumping into the unknown without a second thought. This is huge energy, you guys. So this person, they're not just thinking about it anymore, they're ready to act. They're feeling this urge to just, throw caution to the wind and go for it. This could mean a lot of things, depending on your situation, right? Maybe it means they're going to reach out to you. After all that information gathering with the Page of Swords, maybe they're going to send you a risky text or DM you out of the blue, even. Like something that they wouldn't normally do. Or maybe it's more internal. Maybe they're making a decision to just, completely change their approach to the situation, to start fresh, to wipe the slate clean. The Fool doesn't care about the past. The Fool is all about the future. About the potential, about the possibilities. This is the ultimate YOLO energy, You only live once, so why not just go for it? But here's the thing about the Fool. He's also a little bit naive. He doesn't always think things through, he just trusts his gut and goes for it. So there's a chance this person might be acting a little impulsively, a little recklessly. They might not be considering all the consequences of their actions, which honestly can be a good thing. Sometimes you just need to throw yourself into something and figure it out as you go along. But it can also lead to some interesting situations, let's just say that. I feel like they're kind of throwing out all the rule books, going with their gut. They want that adventure. They want that new beginning. They are saying, this is what I want and I'm just going to do it. Even though that's probably really scary for them. Because jumping into the unknown is always scary, right? Maybe they're tired of playing it safe, tired of overthinking everything. Maybe they've been stuck in a rut for too long, and they're just craving something new and exciting. The Fool is that energy that breaks you out of that rut, that pushes you to take a chance on yourself and on your desires. But here's the million-dollar question. Is this Fool energy sustainable? Can they really just keep jumping from one new adventure to the next without ever looking back? That's where our next card comes in, because you can't just be reckless forever. It's fun for a while, sure, but eventually you need to find some grounding. And that, my friend, is where the Queen of Pentacles comes in to save the day. The Queen of Pentacles, so, after all that Fool energy and running around with that Page of Swords, now we're getting some stability, some nurturing, some serious self-worth vibes. The Queen of Pentacles is like the ultimate Earth Mother, right? She's grounded, she's practical, she's abundant, and she knows her worth. She's the queen of self-care, of financial security, and of creating a comfortable and stable life for herself and for those she cares about. So, what does this mean in the context of their feelings for you? Well, it could mean that they're looking for something more than just a fleeting romance, more than just a fun fling. Maybe Underneath all that fool energy, they're actually craving a deep, meaningful connection, someone who can provide them with a sense of security and stability. They want that grounded person who can offer support and maybe a shared life. Or it could mean that they're realizing they need to bring more of that Queen of Pentacles energy into their own lives. They can't just keep jumping from one adventure to the next without ever taking care of themselves, without ever building a solid foundation. They're coming to see that a sense of self-worth and financial stability is attractive. Maybe they're realizing that they need to get their act together, that they need to be more responsible and reliable if they want to attract a Queen of Pentacles, or be worthy of one, for that matter. It's like, okay, I've had my fun, but now it's time to get serious. It's time to build something that lasts. The Queen of Pentacles is also about sensuality and pleasure, so this could mean that they're really attracted to your groundedness, to your ability to create a comfortable and nurturing environment. They're drawn to your confidence and your self-assuredness. Like, wow, this person really knows who they are and what they want. That's incredibly sexy. And remember the Garnet Tower, the crystal for this pile? It's all about centering. The Queen of Pentacles is centered. She knows her worth. So maybe this person is trying to come back to themselves, find their center, and they see you as someone who can help them do that. You represent that grounded energy that they are craving. That's powerful, but there's also a warning here. The Queen of Pentacles can sometimes be a little bit stubborn. She knows what she wants, and she's not afraid to go after it. So this person might be very determined to win you over, but they might also be a little bit resistant to changing their ways. They want that stability with you, but it's possible that they're going to try to do it their way. That's something you'll definitely want to watch out for. Okay, let's connect all this together. We've got the Page of Swords, that initial spark of curiosity, the Fool, that leap of faith, and the Queen of Pentacles, that desire for stability and security. So this person is feeling this urge to take a chance on you, to start something new and exciting. But they're also realizing that they need to bring more of that Queen of Pentacles energy into their own lives. They need to be more grounded, more responsible, more self-assured. They're realizing that they can't just keep chasing after fleeting pleasures, that they need to build something that lasts. And maybe, just maybe, they're starting to see you as someone who can help them do that. Someone who can provide them with the stability and security that they're craving. This is a powerful combination of cards, you guys. It's all about taking risks, but also about being grounded and knowing your worth. It's about finding that balance between the thrill of the new and the comfort of the familiar. I think this person is on a journey of self-discovery and a journey towards you. And it's going to be fascinating to see where it leads. Okay, wow, all right. So we've got the initial curiosity with the Page, then bam, the Fool jumping in, then the Queen grounding everything, and now we pull the Hermit. The Hermit. Okay, so right off the bat, what does this mean? After all that outward energy, now we're going inward, you know? This is like a complete 180 from the Fool's let's go, who cares? Energy. The Hermit is all about taking a step back, going within, soul searching. It's about finding your own truth and guidance, not relying on other people or outside influences. So, how does this connect to the other cards? Okay, let's see. Maybe after that impulsive leap of faith with the Fool, they're realizing they need to, actually figure out what they really want, The Fool just jumps, but the Hermit asks, wait, where are we jumping to? It's they need some alone time to process everything, to really understand their motivations. Maybe they went charging in like the Fool, and they have to ask themselves if that was the correct decision or not. Or maybe it's connected to the Queen of Pentacles. They see you as this stable, grounded person, and they're trying to figure out if they can actually offer you what you deserve, what you need, They're questioning their own values, trying to align themselves with what they think you're looking for. Are they even worthy? The Hermit is all about that self-reflection, that deep dive into your own psyche. You know what else? This could be about them needing to disconnect from the noise, from all the opinions and expectations around them, so they can actually hear their own inner voice, Maybe everyone's telling them, "Oh, you should do this, you should do that." And they're just like, hold on, I need to figure out what I want, what I feel. Because think about it, the Page of Swords is all about new information, right? And that can be overwhelming, so much coming at you at once. The Hermit is like the antidote to that information overload. It's about taking that information and like distilling it, filtering it through your own experience and your own wisdom. It's almost like they're saying, okay, I've gathered all this information, I've taken this leap of faith, but now I need to go away somewhere quiet and figure out what it all means. It's about finding the signal in the noise, you know. And the thing about the Hermit is, it's not just about being alone, it's about being alone with purpose. It's about using that solitude to gain clarity, to connect with your higher self, to find your own inner guidance. So this person isn't just like hiding away because they're scared or avoiding something. They're actively seeking wisdom and understanding. Think of it like, you know, when you're trying to solve a really difficult problem. Sometimes you just need to step away from it for a while, clear your head, and then come back to it with fresh eyes. The Hermit is that stepping away, that clearing of the head. It's about creating space for new insights to emerge. Maybe they're even like meditating or journaling or something, you know, anything that helps them connect with their inner self. I feel like they're really trying to understand themselves on a deeper level. But here's the thing about the Hermit. It can also be a little bit isolating, you know. Spending too much time alone can make you feel disconnected from the world, from other people. So there's a risk that this person might be withdrawing too much, that they might be getting lost in their own thoughts and feelings. That's something to watch out for, definitely. You don't want them to disappear completely. You want them to come back with that wisdom and clarity, but you don't want them to get stuck in that hermit cave forever. Also, remember that Garnet Tower crystal. It's all about centering, right? And the Hermit is definitely about centering yourself, finding your inner core. It's about aligning yourself with your own truth, your own values. So this card really reinforces that theme of finding your center, of coming back to yourself. The Hermit isn't always easy, though, you know? It can be uncomfortable to confront your own thoughts and feelings, to look at your own shadow side. But it's also incredibly rewarding. Because when you do that inner work, when you find your own truth, you become so much stronger, so much more authentic. And maybe that's what this person is doing. Maybe they're facing their own fears, their own insecurities, so they can become a better version of themselves, a version that's worthy of that Queen of Pentacles energy. They're pulling away to prepare, you know, to get themselves in alignment. Okay, so what does this all mean for you? Well, it could mean that you need to give them some space, you know. Don't try to force them to talk or to open up before they're ready. Let them have their time alone. Let them do their inner work. Trust that they're doing what they need to do to figure things out. And when they're ready, they'll come back to you with a clearer understanding of themselves and of what they want. Or it could mean that you need to do some soul searching of your own. Maybe you're so focused on this person and their feelings that you're neglecting your own needs, your own desires. The Hermit can be a reminder to turn inward, to connect with your own inner wisdom. Take some time for yourself. Do something that nourishes your soul, and ask yourself what you really want from this situation. Because ultimately, you can't control what this person does or feels, but you can control your own actions and your own responses. But the appearance of the Hermit, given the cards that came before it, is a powerful sign that this person is looking inward to find something. It's probably not a physical object. It's probably some aspect of themselves, their desires, their own sense of self-worth. Maybe it's all three. I feel like this Hermit energy is setting the stage for something really important. Like whatever they discover during this period of introspection is going to have a big impact on their feelings for you and on the future of your connection. But what is it they're looking for? Only time will tell, I suppose. Wow, okay, so where does this leave us? They're off on their hermit journey. What card is going to pull them out of that cave? Let's find out. Okay, so they're off on their hermit journey, right? They're in that cave, soul-searching, figuring things out. And now, bam, we get the 5 of Wands. This is like the opposite of the Hermit, isn't it? Like the Hermit is all about peace and quiet and introspection, and the Five of Wands is all about chaos and conflict and competition. So what's going on here? After all that alone time, what's stirring things up now? So first of all, the Five of Wands in general is like a card of conflict, right? It's about disagreements, arguments, competition, sometimes even just like a general sense of discord and frustration. It's like everyone's fighting for their own voice to be heard, and nobody's really listening to each other. You know that feeling when you're in a group project and everyone has a different idea and nobody can agree on anything? That's totally Five of Wands energy. But here's the thing about the Five of Wands. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It can actually be a catalyst for growth. Because sometimes you need that conflict to, like, challenge your own beliefs and to force you to think outside the box, you know? It's like iron sharpens iron. It's that kind of thing. So it could mean that they're facing some kind of external challenge, maybe at work or with their family or friends. Maybe there's some kind of disagreement or competition that's causing them stress. It could even be something as simple as like a difference of opinion with someone close to them that's just like grating on their nerves. Or it could be more internal. Maybe they're struggling with some kind of internal conflict, you know? Like different parts of themselves are fighting for control. Maybe they're torn between what they want and what they think they should want. Or maybe they're just feeling really confused and uncertain about the future. So, like, how does this connect to the other cards? Okay, so we had that Page of Swords, right? That initial spark of curiosity, that new information coming in. Maybe that new information is actually causing some kind of conflict or disagreement. Maybe they learned something that challenged their beliefs, or that made them question their assumptions. Like, wait a minute, I thought this was true, but now I'm not so sure. And then we had the Fool, that impulsive leap of faith. Maybe that leap of faith has led to some unexpected challenges or obstacles. Maybe they jumped into something without thinking it through, and now they're facing the consequences, you know? Like, oops, maybe I should have done a little more research before I quit my job and moved to Bali. And then there's the Queen of Pentacles, that grounded, stable energy. Maybe the Five of Wands is a challenge to that stability. Maybe they're feeling like their sense of security is threatened, or that their comfortable life is being disrupted. It's like, wait, I thought I had everything figured out, but now everything's changing. Or it could be that they're realizing that they need to fight for what they want, that they can't just sit back and expect things to fall into their lap. Maybe they need to assert themselves more, to stand up for their own needs and desires. The Queen of Pentacles is strong, but she also knows when to fight for what she believes in. And then, of course, there's the Hermit. After all that introspection and soul-searching, maybe they're coming to realize that they need to engage with the world again, that they can't just stay in their cave forever. Maybe they need to take what they've learned and apply it to their relationships and their interactions with others. The Hermit can be a bit of a loner, but even the Hermit needs to come out of his cave sometimes. And maybe coming out of that cave means facing some conflict and challenges. Okay, so what are some specific scenarios that might be playing out here? Well, one possibility is that they're facing some kind of competition in their career, like fighting for a promotion or trying to land a new client. Maybe they're feeling like they have to prove themselves, that they have to work harder than everyone else to get ahead. This could be really stressful, but it could also be a great opportunity for them to showcase their skills and talents. Another possibility is that they're having some kind of disagreement with their family or friends. Maybe there's some kind of tension or conflict that's been brewing for a while, and it's finally coming to a head. This could be really difficult, but it could also be an opportunity for them to clear the air and to build stronger, more honest relationships. Because sometimes you need to have those tough conversations in order to move forward. Or it could be that they're struggling with some kind of internal conflict related to you. Maybe they're torn between their feelings for you and their fears or insecurities. Maybe they're worried about getting hurt or about making the wrong decision. This could be a really challenging time for them, but it could also be an opportunity for them to confront their own demons and to grow as a person. Maybe they're fighting with their feelings for you. I mean, think about it. The page was curious, then the fool jumped in, and the queen showed them what they want, but the hermit went away to think about it. And now the Five of Wands shows that they're kind of fighting against those feelings. This could be because they're scared, because they don't think they're good enough, or maybe because other people are trying to get in the way and mess things up. Like external forces. But here's the thing about the Five of Wands. It's not always about winning or losing. Sometimes it's just about learning how to navigate conflict, how to communicate effectively, and how to stand up for yourself. It's about finding your voice and learning how to use it. And even if you don't win the argument or the competition, you can still learn something valuable from the experience. And that brings us back to the Garnet Tower, right? The crystal for this pile is all about centering, about finding your inner balance. And the Five of Wands can actually help you do that, because it forces you to confront your own beliefs and values. It forces you to ask yourself what's really important to you and what you're willing to fight for. It's like, in the midst of all that chaos and conflict, you have to find your center, you have to stay grounded, and you have to remember who you are. It's about finding your inner strength, your inner resilience. It's about learning how to stand your ground, even when things are tough. And it's about learning how to communicate your needs and desires in a clear and effective way. Because ultimately, the Five of Wands is a card about communication. It's about finding a way to express yourself, even when you're surrounded by conflict and disagreement. It's about finding a way to connect with others, even when you have different opinions or different perspectives. So, what does this all mean for you? Well, it could mean that you need to be prepared for some conflict or disagreement in the near future. Maybe you're going to have a tough conversation with this person, or maybe you're going to have to stand up for yourself in some way. It's important to stay calm, to stay grounded, and to remember your own values. Or it could mean that you need to be patient with this person, that they're going through a difficult time and they need your support. Maybe they're struggling with some kind of internal conflict, or maybe they're facing some external challenges that are causing them stress. It's important to be understanding, to be compassionate, and to offer them a listening ear. Or it could mean that you need to encourage them to communicate their feelings and their needs. Maybe they're holding back, or maybe they're afraid of expressing themselves. It's important to create a safe space for them to open up and to share their thoughts and feelings. Because ultimately, communication is the key to resolving conflict and to building stronger relationships. Don't be afraid of the conflict. It's a chance to learn and grow, both individually and as a couple or potential couple. So embrace the challenge, communicate openly, and trust that you'll come out stronger on the other side. But remember, you may need to help them find their center and show them it's safe to show you their authentic self. Because this is a major sign that there's something holding them back. Wow, this is intense, right? From soul-searching to conflict, it's like a roller coaster. So what's the final destination? Are they going to resolve this conflict and finally find their center? What does the next card have in store? Oh, I'm so excited to see. Let's pull the final card and find out. Okay. So they're dealing with this conflict from the Five of Wands, and bam, we get the Nine of Wands. This card. Like, it's so close, right? You're like right at the finish line, but you're also like completely exhausted and maybe a little bit wounded. You can see the end, but you're just like, do I have enough energy to actually get there? That's the Nine of Wands energy. So in general, the Nine of Wands is all about like resilience, right? It's about having been through some tough stuff, having faced some challenges and still standing. You've taken some hits, you've got some scars, but you're not down for the count. You're still there, ready to defend yourself, ready to keep going. But you're also like super guarded, right? You've learned some hard lessons, and you're not about to let anyone hurt you again. So you've got your walls up, you're on high alert, you're scanning the horizon for any potential threats. It's like you've been burned before and you're not going to let it happen again. You know, you're wiser, you're stronger, but you're also a little bit wary. You can't help but be wary. Okay, so how does this connect to all the other cards we've got going on here? Let's see. Okay, so first, the Page of Swords. The page is all about new information, right? But maybe all that new information was a little overwhelming, a little too much to handle. Maybe it led to some anxiety or some overthinking. And now, with the Nine of Wands, they're feeling like they need to, protect themselves from all that information, okay, I've heard enough, I need to build a wall around myself so I don't get bombarded with any more new stuff. It's like they're putting up a mental shield. They're saying, okay, I've processed all this information, now I need to protect my mind, my thoughts, my beliefs. They're trying to create some mental space, some mental boundaries. They are saying, enough, I need to process. And then we had the Fool, that impulsive leap of faith. Ah, the Fool. Well, maybe that leap of faith didn't exactly go as planned, right? Maybe they ran into some unexpected obstacles or challenges. Maybe they got a little bit hurt along the way. And now, with the Nine of Wands, they're realizing that they need to be a little more careful, a little more cautious. They can't just go running headfirst into every situation without thinking it through first. It's like they learned the hard way that sometimes you need to protect yourself, that sometimes you need to have a plan, that sometimes you can't just rely on blind faith. This could also speak to something this tarot reading has talked about and be secure in who you are. There are not many people who can touch you in the ways that they used to. They're saying, okay, I'm still open to new experiences, but I'm not going to be reckless anymore. I'm going to be more mindful, more aware of the potential risks. They're not going to be quite so foolish again. And then, of course, the Queen of Pentacles. Ah, the Queen. The Queen is all about stability, security, and self-worth. But maybe they're feeling like that stability is threatened in some way. Maybe they're worried about losing what they've built, about having their security taken away. And so, with the Nine of Wands, they're putting up their defenses to protect their stability, to protect their security, to protect their sense of self-worth. It's like they're saying, okay, I've worked hard to create this stable life for myself, and I'm not going to let anyone take it away from me. I'm going to protect what's mine. They're setting boundaries, they're enforcing limits, they're making sure that their needs are met. They are thinking, I will fight for this. And then we have the Hermit who went off to soul search. The Hermit is all about introspection, about going within, about finding your own truth. But maybe that introspection was a little too intense, a little too isolating. Maybe they uncovered some painful truths, some deep-seated fears or insecurities. And now, with the Nine of Wands, they're feeling like they need to protect their heart, their emotions, their vulnerabilities. It's like they're saying, okay, I've opened myself up, I've been vulnerable, and it was scary. Now I need to close myself off again, just for a little while, so I can heal, so I can recover. They're putting up emotional walls, they're guarding their heart, they're being careful about who they let in. And finally, the Five of Wands, all that chaos and conflict. Well, the Nine of Wands is definitely a direct result of that conflict, right? They've been through the ringer, they've been fighting, they've been arguing, and they're exhausted. They're wounded. And now, with the Nine of Wands, they're standing their ground, but they're also feeling like they need to protect themselves from any further attacks. It's like they're saying, okay, I've had enough fighting, I'm done. I'm going to defend myself, but I'm not going to go looking for any more trouble. They have had to cultivate those resources, or starting to cultivate those But if you already do have a stable financial situation, but you're trying to grow, that I definitely see whatever you're doing in month 1 is leading to more of that in month 2. They're licking their wounds, they're regrouping, they're preparing for the next battle, if there has to be one. So, as you can see, the Nine of Wands is really a culmination of all the energies that have come before it. It's a card of resilience, of boundaries, of guardedness, and of exhaustion. And remember the Garnet Tower. The crystal for this pile is all about centering. And the Nine of Wands is definitely about finding your center, even in the midst of all that chaos and conflict. It's about staying grounded, staying true to yourself, even when you're feeling wounded and exhausted. It's about knowing your worth, even when you're feeling vulnerable. It's like they're saying, okay, I've been through a lot, but I'm still here. I'm still standing. And I'm still centered. I know who I am, and I know what I want. The Nine of Wands is like a testament to their strength, their resilience, their ability to overcome challenges. But it's also a reminder that they need to take care of themselves, that they need to set boundaries, that they need to protect their energy. Okay, so what does all this mean for you? What does the Nine of Wands mean for you in this situation? Well, it could mean that you need to be patient with this person, that they're going through a tough time and they need some space. Don't push them. Don't try to force them to open up before they're ready. Let them heal. Let them recover. Let them rebuild their defenses. They have the opportunity to balance the material and the spiritual. The King of Pentacles is all about ambition, generational wealth, and being a natural leader. He's grounded, practical, and focused on creating long-term stability. It's like, give them some time to lick their wounds. Give them some time to regroup. Give them some time to find their center again. Or it could mean that you need to respect their boundaries, that you need to be mindful of their limits. Don't try to cross their lines. Don't try to push them too far. Be understanding, be compassionate, and be respectful of their needs. It's like, be aware of their walls. Be aware of their triggers. Be aware of their vulnerabilities. Or it could mean that you need to show them that you're trustworthy, that you're not going to hurt them, that you're not going to take advantage of them. Build trust, be reliable, and be consistent in your actions. It's like, prove to them that you're safe. Prove to them that you're worthy of their trust. Prove to them that you're not going to betray them. The King of Pentacles can sometimes become too fixated on accumulating wealth, leading to greed and a disconnection from the things that truly nourish the soul. Because ultimately, the Nine of Wands is about trust, right? It's about learning to trust yourself, learning to trust others, and learning to trust the process. It's about knowing that you're strong enough to handle whatever comes your way, that you're resilient enough to bounce back from any setback, and that you're worthy of love and connection, even with all your scars and all your vulnerabilities. But the question is, what's going to make them finally drop their guard? What's the final piece of the puzzle that's going to allow them to fully heal and fully embrace whatever's coming next? What will it take for them to feel safe enough to finally let go of that Nine of Wands energy and step into a new chapter? What does the next card have in store for them? I can't wait to find out. Okay, so they're holding on to that Nine of Wands energy, right? Wounded but resilient, guarded but not broken. And then bam, we get the King of Swords. Ooh, this is interesting, the King of Swords. This is like a major energy shift, you guys. Like we're going from this very emotional, defensive place to a very mental, strategic place. So what's going on here? What does this King of Swords energy bring to the table? Okay, so the King of Swords in general is all about intellect, right? It's about clarity, logic, and making decisions based on facts, not feelings. He is the master of the mind, you know. He's the one who can cut through the BS, who can see things objectively, who can make the tough choices without letting emotions cloud his judgment. Think of him like, a really brilliant lawyer or a surgeon or a CEO who's not afraid to make the hard calls. He's all about truth and justice, and he's not afraid to use his intellect to get there. But here's the thing about the King of Swords. He can also be a little bit cold, a little bit detached. He's so focused on logic and reason that he can sometimes forget about the human element. He can come across as unfeeling or even a little bit ruthless. Okay, these are the facts, this is what needs to be done, I don't care how you feel about it. So, it's important to remember that there's a shadow side to this King of Swords energy. But overall, he's a very powerful figure, a very decisive figure, and someone who is respected for his intellect and his ability to lead. So, what does this mean in the context of their feelings for you? Well, it could mean that they're trying to, analyze their feelings for you, They're trying to figure out if their feelings make sense, if they're logical, if they align with their values and their goals. They're not just letting themselves feel. They're actually thinking about it, dissecting it, trying to understand it on a mental level. It's like they're saying, okay, I feel this way, but why do I feel this way? Does this make sense? Is this something I want to pursue? They want an answer they can rationalize, Or it could mean that they're trying to, make a decision about you, They're weighing the pros and cons. They're assessing the risks and the rewards. They're trying to figure out if a relationship with you is something that would be beneficial for them, something that would align with their long-term goals. They're not just acting on impulse. They're actually thinking it through. It's like they're saying, okay, this is what I want, but is this the right thing for me? Is this something that I can realistically achieve? Is this something that will make me happy in the long run? It's really important to see that they are thinking with the logic side of their brain here. I feel like this reading, from what you've told me so far, is all over the place. I mean, let's think about all this. You know, they're trying to figure out how exactly to go about things the right way. They feel that there is a correct way to approach you, and the King of Swords wants them to dissect it to find this answer. Okay, so let's connect this King of Swords energy to all the other cards we've pulled, one by one, because that's where it gets really interesting, right? So we started with the Page of Swords, that initial spark of curiosity, that new information coming in. Maybe the King of Swords is like the next step in that process, you know. The Page is just gathering information, but the King is actually analyzing that information, drawing conclusions, making decisions based on what he's learned. It's like the Page is saying, ooh, this is interesting. And the King is saying, okay, what do I do with this information? How can I use this to my advantage? What are the implications here? The King is taking that raw information and turning it into something actionable, something strategic. And then we had the Fool, that impulsive leap of faith. Okay, so the King of Swords is like the complete opposite of the Fool, right? The Fool is all about spontaneity and recklessness, and the King is all about planning and control. So maybe the King of Swords is a way for them to, like, rein in that Fool energy, you know? To bring some logic and reason to their impulsiveness. It's like they're saying, okay, I had my fun, I took my leap of faith, but now it's time to get serious. It's time to think things through, it's time to make a plan. They want that thrill, but they're trying to protect their feelings by thinking the situation through with as much data as they can get. Or maybe the King of Swords is a sign that they're regretting that Fool energy, you know. Maybe they jumped into something without thinking it through, and now they're facing the consequences. Maybe they're wishing they had been more careful, more strategic. It's like they're saying, oops, maybe I should have thought this through a little bit more before I acted. Maybe I should have consulted my inner King of Swords. And then there's the Queen of Pentacles, that grounded, stable energy. Well, the King of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles, they're a pretty good match, actually. The Queen is all about creating a secure and comfortable life, and the King is all about making smart decisions that will help her achieve that goal. They're both very practical, very responsible, and very focused on long-term success. So maybe the King of Swords is a sign that they're ready to, like, build something real with you, you know. Something that's not just based on emotions, but also based on shared values, shared goals, and a shared commitment to creating a stable and secure future together. You know, maybe they're realizing that you're not just a fun fling, but someone who could actually be a long-term partner, someone who could help them achieve their dreams. Or maybe the King of Swords is a sign that they're trying to, like, assess whether or not you're a good fit for their life, you know? Are you responsible? Are you practical? Do you share their values? Do you have the same goals? They're trying to figure out if you're Queen of Pentacles material, basically. They are searching for that perfect queen, and that search will not waver. And then we have the Hermit, who went off to soul search. Okay, so the Hermit is all about introspection, about going within, about finding your own truth. And the King of Swords is all about, like, externalizing that truth, you know, taking what you've learned and applying it to the real world. So maybe the King of Swords is a sign that they're ready to come out of their shell, you know. To take what they've learned during their period of introspection and to use it to make decisions about their life, about their relationships, about their future. It's like they're saying, okay, I've spent enough time thinking about myself, now it's time to take action. It's time to put my knowledge to good use. They want to make sure that you're on the same page, and this may be why they feel the need to overthink. Maybe that time alone helped them to realize that they want to pursue something with you and they just don't know how to do it. so they seek the answers through thinking. And then, of course, the Five of Wands, all that chaos and conflict. Well, the King of Swords is definitely a way to deal with that conflict, right? He's all about cutting through the BS, about finding a solution, about taking control of the situation. So maybe the King of Swords is a sign that they're ready to, step up and resolve the conflict, to stop arguing, to stop fighting, and to start working together towards a common goal. It's like they're saying, okay, enough is enough. This conflict is getting us nowhere. Let's put our heads together and figure out a way to solve this problem. They feel this sense of urgency, like you and them need to be a power couple. Or maybe the King of Swords is a sign that they're going to, walk away from the conflict, to cut their losses and move on. Maybe they've decided that the conflict is just too much to handle, that it's not worth their time or their energy. It's like they're saying, okay, this is just not working. I'm out. I'm going to focus on something that's more productive, something that's more aligned with my goals. And finally, the Nine of Wands, all that guarded resilience. Okay, so the King of Swords is a way to break through that guardedness, to use logic and reason to overcome their fears and insecurities. It's like they're saying, okay, I've been hurt before, but I'm not going to let that stop me from pursuing what I want. I'm going to use my intellect to assess the risks, to make a plan, and to move forward with confidence. They have done their healing, and they feel ready to move forward with that. I am getting the vibe that they're going to be ready to plan something out, for you or for them. Or maybe the King of Swords is a sign that they're going to, stay guarded, to keep their walls up, to protect themselves from getting hurt again. They're saying, okay, I've been through a lot, and I'm not going to let myself be vulnerable again. I'm going to keep my distance, I'm going to be careful, and I'm going to protect my heart at all costs. So, what does this all mean for you? Well, it could mean that you need to appeal to their intellect, Don't just try to win them over with emotions. Try to show them that you're smart, that you're logical, that you're someone who can think things through. It's like, show them that you're King of Swords material, too. Show them your plans and how well-researched you are. Or it could mean that you need to be patient with them, that they're going to take their time to make a decision about you. Don't try to rush them, don't try to pressure them. Let them think things through, let them weigh the pros and cons, and let them come to their own conclusion. Or it could mean that you need to be prepared for them to be a little bit cold or detached, that they're not going to be super emotional or affectionate. Don't take it personally, it's just their way of protecting themselves. Remember that even the king can be cold. And remember the Garnet Tower, right? This crystal is all about centering. And the King of Swords, in his own way, is about centering too. He's about finding clarity, about aligning your thoughts with your actions, and about making decisions that are in line with your values. He is that centered force that this person needs right now. I really feel like whatever happens next is gonna be big. Okay, so what's the next card gonna be? Is it gonna be something that challenges this King of Swords energy, or something that reinforces it? Are they going to move forward with clarity and confidence, or are they going to retreat back into their shell? I am dying to know. Let's pull the next card and find out. Okay, so we've got all this going on, right? The Page of Swords, the Fool, the Queen of Pentacles, the Hermit, the Five of Wands, the Nine of Wands, the King of Swords. It's been quite the ride. And now, after all that, bam, we get the Three of Pentacles. Like, what does it all mean, Basil? What does it all mean? Well, okay, so remember how the King of Swords was all about, analyzing everything, making decisions based on logic, being all strategic and stuff. The Three of Pentacles is okay, you've got all this knowledge, you've got all this clarity. Now what are you gonna do with it? The Three of Pentacles is all about collaboration, teamwork, and building something together. It's about taking your individual skills and talents and combining them with those of others to create something that's bigger and better than you could ever achieve on your own. It's kind of like they've been off in their own head for a while, thinking all about what they want, what you want. But now, this card means, putting those thoughts into action. So in general, the Three of Pentacles is a really positive card. It's a sign that you're on the right track, that you're working well with others, and that you're creating something of lasting value. It's a card of accomplishment, of recognition, and of building a solid foundation for the future. It shows that you are thinking for the future, and so are they. But it's also a card that reminds you that you can't do it all alone, that you need to rely on others, that you need to be open to collaboration, and that you need to be willing to share your skills and your knowledge with those around you. It says teamwork makes the dream work. Okay, so, let's dive a little deeper into the Three of Pentacles, shall we? What are some of the key themes here? Well, first of all, there's the teamwork aspect, right? The Three of Pentacles is all about working together towards a common goal. It's about understanding that everyone has different skills and talents to bring to the table, and that by combining those skills, you can achieve something truly amazing. It's the idea that no one person has all the answers, but together, you can figure it out. The people in this tarot card are working together like you would not believe. They're building something beautiful and long-lasting. If you haven't picked this card, I would say that this card is one of the best to get. Then, there's the skill-sharing aspect. The Three of Pentacles is all about sharing your knowledge and expertise with others. It's about being willing to teach and to learn, to mentor and to be mentored. It's about understanding that everyone has something valuable to contribute, and that by sharing your skills, you can help others grow and develop. It means, working together on some kind of project. This can be at work, school, or heck, even a fun art project at home. And the Three of Pentacles shows that you're not just, randomly throwing things together, right? You're putting in the work to make sure it's the best possible outcome. It also means you're learning new skills while doing it, so you're expanding your knowledge all the time. It's a win-win situation. There's also the recognition aspect. The Three of Pentacles is often a sign that you're being recognized for your hard work and your contributions. It's a sign that your skills and talents are being appreciated by others, and that you're being rewarded for your efforts. Maybe you're getting a promotion at work, or maybe you're getting some positive feedback on a project that you've been working on. Maybe you're finally getting the recognition that you deserve. You are being noticed, and it's really working out for you. And finally, there's the aspect of building something of value. The Three of Pentacles is all about creating something that's going to last, something that's going to make a difference in the world. It's about building a legacy, about leaving your mark, about creating something that you can be proud of. It means building something awesome with someone else. And that can be just about anything, really. From something creative to something more concrete, like building a house. This card is here to tell you to collaborate with others and build something that will really matter. Something lasting. Okay, so how does all of this connect back to the other cards we've pulled? How does the Three of Pentacles integrate with all that Page of Swords, Fool, Queen of Pentacles, Hermit, Five of Wands, Nine of Wands, and King of Swords energy? Let's break it down, shall we? Okay, so remember the Page of Swords. That initial spark of curiosity, that new information coming in. Well, the Three of Pentacles is okay, you've got all this new information, now what are you going to do with it? How can you use it to build something new, something innovative, something that's going to benefit others? Maybe all that information you got led you to find some collaborators who can help you on your journey. And then there's the Fool, that impulsive leap of faith. The Three of Pentacles is okay, you've taken your leap, now it's time to build something solid, something sustainable. It's time to turn that initial spark of excitement into something tangible, something real. The Three of Pentacles can also mean that you're working with other people to help build something that you're passionate about. Maybe you're sharing your skills and talents with others, or maybe you're learning from them. And of course, there's the Queen of Pentacles, that grounded, stable energy. The Three of Pentacles is okay, you've got your foundation, now it's time to build on it. It's time to create something that's going to provide you with even more security, even more abundance, even more stability. The Queen of Pentacles is all about creating a comfortable and nurturing environment, and this card is about working with others to make that happen. Remember the Hermit, who went off to soul search. The Three of Pentacles is okay, you found your truth, now it's time to share it with the world. It's time to use your knowledge and your wisdom to help others, to make a difference, to build something that's going to benefit everyone. You need to find those people to bring your goals to life. And the Five of Wands, all that chaos and conflict. The Three of Pentacles is like, okay, you've been through the ringer, you've faced some challenges, but now it's time to put all that behind you and work together towards a common goal. It's time to find a way to resolve your differences, to find common ground, and to build something that's going to benefit everyone involved. It means the conflict has passed, and it's time to build, baby. And then there's the Nine of Wands, all that guarded resilience. The Three of Pentacles is like, okay, you've been hurt, you've been wounded, but you're still standing. Now it's time to let go of your defenses, to open yourself up to collaboration, and to trust that others are going to support you and help you achieve your goals. You are resilient, but it's time to start trusting. And finally, the King of Swords, all that intellect and clarity. The Three of Pentacles is like, okay, you've got all this knowledge, you've got all this clarity, now it's time to use it to build something amazing. It's time to take your ideas and turn them into reality, to create something that's going to make a difference in the world. You have all the tools you need, so use them. Okay, so, what are some practical scenarios where this Three of Pentacles energy might manifest in your life? Let's get real for a second, shall we? Well, one possibility is that you're going to be working on a team project at work, Maybe you're going to be collaborating with others to create a new product, to launch a new service, or to improve your company's performance. If that's the case, it's really important to focus on teamwork, on communication, and on sharing your skills and knowledge with others. Be open to new ideas, be willing to compromise, and be sure to give credit where credit is due. Remember, teamwork makes the dream work. Another possibility is that you're going to be starting a new business with a partner, Maybe you're going to be combining your skills and talents to create something that's going to be bigger and better than you could ever achieve on your own. If that's the case, it's really important to choose your partner wisely, to have clear roles and responsibilities, and to communicate openly and honestly with each other. Remember, communication is key. Or maybe you're going to be working with others to create a community project, Maybe you're going to be volunteering your time and your skills to help those in need, to improve your neighborhood, or to make a difference in the world. If that's the case, it's really important to be passionate about your cause, to be willing to work hard, and to be open to new ideas and new approaches. Remember, every little bit helps, but here's what I think. It's not just about the work. It's about bringing your talents and your passions together to create something meaningful. And remember that Garnet Tower crystal that we picked at the beginning. It's all about centering. And the Three of Pentacles is about finding your center within a group, about working together in harmony, about creating something that's aligned with your values and your purpose. It's the combined centering of everyone around you. So, what's the final message here? What's the ultimate takeaway? Well, I think it's that you have the potential to create something truly amazing, something that's going to make a difference in the world. You have the skills, you have the talents, and you have the support of others. All you need to do is to be open to collaboration, to be willing to share your knowledge, and to be willing to work hard. And trust me, the rewards will be well worth the effort. You can do anything you set your mind to. You've got this, you guys. Don't be afraid to take that leap, to open yourself up to new possibilities, and to create something that's going to make you proud. The universe is on your side, and I'm cheering you on every step of the way. I am so excited for you and your beautiful future. Thank you so much for choosing this pile, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.